So everybody is flipping out over what EJ Johnson said when he said he only dates straight men. And I just think it is coming from a place of denial on the women's part and the men's part. I think the replies have been hilarious. So the women who are male identified, male centered, puts marriage on a pedestal, thinks the men are the prize when they get picked and they're having a husband. Those pick me's are crashing out over what EJ Johnson said because they don't want to admit the fact that their husband, who they're probably married to, is sitting in the living room right now while they're hearing this video, that he might be on the DL, that he might be gay, that he might be bisexual. And the men, I think, are hilarious because they're coming in trying to say, "Oh, this EJ is lying. I call cab. This is BS. Blah 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 blah." And of course, they're going to say that because they're probably living a undercover DL life and they don't want to be exposed. So they're going to try to distance themselves as much as possible from what EJ Johnson is saying. And I just call bullshit. Like, I could see right through them. And I see other comments, and I have to say I lean towards what these women say, who feel that like pretty much all men are DL at this point to me, because I just think men will sleep with anything. I really do. I feel like if, a lot of them, if they've been locked up, they've been turned out. They've been raped, or they've been, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures, and they did some strange things for a little change, or so, while locked up. And then the ones who weren't locked up, I just feel like if they're in between women, or men just act like they're going to die if they're not getting regular access to sex. Like, I've seen men even threaten to rape women if women continue to walk away from dating altogether, choosing to be celibate, choosing to not bother with marriage because the DV rates are through the roof. Men have actually threatened to rape women, and I've heard this so many effing times. Like, men actually feel like rape is a thing that they can do as well when they're mad at women. It's just like, what? The way they treat women and look at things. Like, I just have a hard time believing that they aren't DL. Like I wouldn't say they do it on a regular basis, all of them, but I would say they either have all engaged in some DL behavior, or they strongly considered it if they're not just outright living a DL life. And so I thought when EJ Johnson said this, he was speaking his truth. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, it didn't even, like, bother me. Anything he said did not bother me. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like, he dates only straight men, which means he's attracted to men who, I wouldn't even say they're overly masculine. He probably just doesn't want anyone who's overtly, like, gay acting. Because even though he's gay, he doesn't go by any kind of special pronouns. He's not trans. He hasn't changed his gender. Like, he's just EJ, and he said that. He's like, I'm just call me EJ. And he's not even trying to get, like, a more feminine name. So even though he dresses, like, in women's clothes, he's not changing as much as he could to become a woman, so to speak. So, I mean, and he has the money. So if he wanted to, he could. And he's not doing that. So to me, when he goes to date, he said himself he doesn't like going into the gay clubs. They're not attracted to him. And I think it's because he doesn't come off as overly gay. Like, if anything, to me, he would be more considered like almost like a cross-dresser. Like, he's dressing in women's clothes. Maybe you would give him like drag queen, but it's not like this overly feminine behavior. I can't explain it because I've seen way more flamboyant than him. And so, like, if he's dating men and he's obviously wants to be considered the woman in the relationship, if you had to choose, the man he's gonna be with is not gonna be, I don't think they need to necessarily be overly masculine, because I feel like some people overcompensate. Like, if you are gay, but you're the butch version out of the two, Or, so I feel like they almost do too much. And so I think he just wants normal. I think that's what he just wants, a normal guy, like someone who's not overly performing in any kind of significant way, like overly performing masculinity or manhood. And so I think that's why when you go to a gay club where the men are going to tend to be more flamboyant, more dramatic, and their behavior is more performative, I think he just feels like, they don't like me because I'm not doing too much with my behavior, and I'm not attracted to them because they are doing too much with theirs. So I just thought it was like, okay, whatever, like that's what he's attracted to. And so for women to run all over the website online and cry all over the internet, and the men were, with them trying to, make them, trying to continue their cover. And the women kept saying, oh, they're not straight, they're DL. Nobody really said bye, because that is a thing. And nobody really ever talked about no one really talked about these lavender marriages either that people be engaged in. And the crazy thing is, a lot of people said they want a lavender marriage. I see a lot of women saying they would love a lavender marriage. So to pretend like this is not a topic, a thing, a gray area in the whole relationship world of choices, like, it's just, come on. It's really ridiculous. And I thought it was kind of goofy. Like, if you are calling a guy DL, well, that literally proves EJ's point. The fact that we know that there's so many men who are on the DL, obviously that means what? That means that he is on the downlow, which means he is presenting himself as straight on a daily basis. Like, he's living as a straight man on a regular basis. Like, that's what the world knows him as. He's straight. He does not have any gay, nothing. So for EJ to go to places where it's just straight men who are hanging out, like, obviously they're on the DL, they're probably not going to be hanging out at gay clubs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to be hanging out in spaces where they can run into someone like an EJ, and it's more discreet, because it's like, I'm not just right. Because, I mean, nowadays with people having smartphones, people being able to get new information out there really quick, like fairly quickly, to like the whole world. Who would be caught dead in a gay space, in a gay club? Because even if you just go to a gay nightclub, people are going to think you're gay, whether you are or not. So I don't think a guy who's on the DL, I mean, the DL means what? He wants to keep it a secret, would be caught dead in a gay club. Or, and so, and we're not even going to get into the difference of the genders, which is like a whole nother video. But like, yeah, so he's going to be in a regular club. And if he sees someone like EJ, that's going to be his opportunity. Like, great, I could talk to this guy, and, maybe we can do some things. And he gets to do what he wants. Because he could be there picking up a girl. He could be there picking up a guy, whatever. And maybe going to a club that would have some of everything. And so that way he can still partake in meeting men without it being so overtly obvious that he's gay or that he's bisexual. And so for people to say, oh, he's on the DL, like that's not saying anything. That's actually proving EJ's point that there are so many men out here who are down low, hiding the fact that they are indeed attracted to men as well as women, or just attracted to men, period, whether they have a woman or not. And so I was listening to this video here, and there are so many videos. I feel like, I don't know why, but it's like ever since the EJ scandal, everyone just started flipping out. Ever since he said that on that podcast, like, I just feel like I keep seeing videos of women dealing with men who are living a double life. And this story was probably the craziest story ever. I might have to speed it up some because it's almost 2 hours. I don't think I want to go that long. But there were just a lot of interesting parts that were such red flags. And she just wasn't paying attention to anything. And it's like the level of delusion and denial that's happening to say you have a husband or to maintain some bullshit. Like, I just can't. I don't understand it. These stories are crazy to me. And I mean, I don't know why they are. Like, I'm 43. I've been through some of everything. But some things are just really wild. I'm like, wow, okay. So I've never dealt with a man who I found out was on the DL, who was dealing with other men. So it's not to say that I wasn't with a guy that would do that. I just never discovered it. And I don't think I've never been with a man where I thought he could possibly be DL. Except maybe my ex, who was a little bit obsessed with sex. And I think when guys are addicted to sex, they will hump anything. And I think I listened to another gay man who said that men who are hypersexual is because of a cover. They're trying to overly compensate for masculinity. They will sleep with a lot of women, and just be really reckless with their sexual habits to cover the fact that they are gay or bisexual. Those are men who are seriously homophobic, and they act homophobic, like they act so extra when it comes to gay anything. They're just so against it, and it's like, yeah, the ones who are the most against it are usually the ones who are probably gay or bisexual. So let me go ahead and play this video.
And how I met my husband. Now, I'm not here to sugarcoat a damn thing. I don't care how it makes me look. It's not my mission to expose him either. I'm simply here to free myself and maybe help somebody else who's been through the same shit. Now, if you've ever been with a narcissist, then you know they like to spin the story, paint you out to be the villain, and never take accountability. So this is my voice, it's my side, and it's also my release. So the story goes back to 2014. I was 30 years old at the time. And, let me just keep it all the way real, give you a quick backstory about, I had a pattern of toxic ass relationships. And it was like each time I kind of graduated to, a new level of some toxic shit, which is fucking crazy. But, my first love was puppy love in high school. We were together for like 5 years. And after that, I, experimented with a guy who was in the streets, which don't ask me why. But, young and dumb. And I had my daughter with him. And I quickly learned the hard way that, this life was not for us. So I moved on, I left, and then I upgraded, or so I thought, to an older man. Again, stepping out of my comfort zone. He was stable, he was a homebody, he was like settled down, and I'm like, ooh, I kind of had to talk myself into getting with him, but he worked at the radio station, we were both into music, so it was supposed to be like a collaboration. That quickly turned into him manipulating me to be his girl. After about a year or two, a year and a half, he quickly showed his true colors. He was possessive, controlling, and turned physically abusive. I'm not going to go down the whole road of that, of physical abuse, because, I was engaged to both of my kids' dads, and both times I knew I deserved better, we deserved better, and I left. Now, by 2014, when I met my husband, I was still with my son's dad. Just graduated school. I knew that I was leaving. I had an escape route planned, and a friend reached out to me. She tells me about this book, The Secret. If you've never read it, I highly suggest you go get it, read it. Basically about the law of attraction and how to manifest and visualize the life that you want. I had made a vision board, okay? And the vision board had a house, it had a car, it had a man in a tuxedo, it had a bride in the bride's dress, it had a wedding ring, it had like stuff for my health, like all types of stuff. But I told the universe, because I was in a vulnerable place, knowing that I was really done and leaving my situation and going to be a single mom of 2 kids. Like, I told the universe, I'm not chasing love no more. He'll find me. If somebody out there is for me, they'll find me. And, that's when I detached. So that was there looking for me. To the day we met, blown, a few weeks ago, so I didn't have a car. My cousins were throwing a block party in Philly, and I hate public transportation, but I packed my kids up and we took that bus anyway. Now, when we get there, it was us girls on the porch, and down below, there's a line of dudes. They're leaned up against the car on the sidewalk, and I literally can feel somebody. It was like something I never felt before. So a few minutes pass, and then we all go inside. Now, at the time, my team was playing into existence. Like, he's about to walk in here and come talk to me. And this is where it gets trippy. Because in that moment, I heard God's voice, clear as day. You're going to be his wife. That's what he said to me. Now, maybe you don't believe in that type of thing. Maybe you want to call it the universe or a spirit guide or ancestors. But it was definitely an outside talking to me. He's flirting heavy. He's asking about my situation. Like, the lease is almost up and I'm going to be leaving him. He told me that he was single. He told me that he lived close by. And he told me that he lived alone. And just like that, it felt like destiny. I was like, holy shit. The manifestation shit worked. And it worked fast because it had only been a couple months, right? Now, this is where I'm going to stop part 1 because what felt like fate was really the trap, the haunted house of my marriage I was about to walk into. And come back, I Married a Monster part 2. I want to start this off with the preface. The red flags definitely started on day 1, and I ignored every single last one of them. So a quick to be his wife. At the time, he told me that he was single, he lived alone, so we exchanged numbers. I told him my situation, which was that I was in a toxic relationship living with my son's dad, but I was going to be leaving soon several times, and he was really excited and couldn't wait to see me and just telling me like how happy he was to meet me. Looking back, it was probably red flag number 1 with the constant love bombing, moving way too fast, way too eager. So red flag number 2. And anytime I asked about meeting up, his excuse was always, I got class. So over and over again, he'd be like, I'm busy, I work, I have class. And every time I would say, oh, really? Like, what class? What are you studying? And he'd dodge it, change the subject. Red flag number 3. So the day after I met him, I went to my mom's. I told her and my sister, I was like, yeah, I met my husband yesterday. And they're like, what? They're like, you're crazy. My mom was like, you're always so quick to fall in love. Like, you don't even know this person. So that was another flag. Just ignoring people who loved me the most were literally trying to warn me. Okay, now, a week goes by. Still, no invite to his house. No invite on a date out somewhere. Not once. But he kept trying to come to mine. In the middle of the day, he calls. He's like, are you home alone? Like, can I come through? I'm like, no. A couple days went by. He asked again. He even had the nerve to be like, oh, so like what time does he leave for work? I'm like, red flag number 5. So, a man that's too comfortable trying to sneak into my situation instead of making space for me in his. So at that point, like, my anxiety was just through the roof. And I'm like, nah, I just had this feeling, like, if it's too good to be true, it is type shit. I kept asking him, like, you sure you don't have a girl? No, I ain't got no girl. I ain't got no girl. Yeah. So now I'm like, okay, it's time for me to do some investigating. Facebook? He said, yeah. But he's like, I'm barely on there like that. So I'm like, well, what's your name? Like, I'll look you up. So he's like, who the hell is Billy Lemon? I thought your name was Bob. Red flag number 6. But he goes on to tell me that's his middle name, and, all his friends, family, they call him Bob. So I'm like, okay, whatever. His page, I looked it up. The page was dead. It was a couple selfies, some New York Nick posts. There wasn't any girls, no sign of a girlfriend, no relationship status, nothing. So, for a second, I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's telling me. Constant texting, barely any phone calls, no invites. So I finally press him. I'm like, what's up with you, yo? Do you have a girlfriend? Do you live with somebody? So he gets silent. He don't say shit. Then all of a sudden, he's like, all right, yeah, something like that. I'm like, something like that? And here goes the truth. He never lived alone. He lived with the girl. He never went to class. What it really was is he had gotten a DUI, went to jail, got court ordered to rehab. Now, when he got out, he says he moved in with a girl that he met while he was in there, that she needed help with her bills. He didn't have any family around here, so he needed a place to stay. And, he swore they were just roommates. Obviously, she was his girlfriend. So red flags, 7, 8, and 9. Like, the whole story was lies. So I just sat there. I was dumbfounded, for real. I couldn't believe this shit. It was like a moment of silence type shit. I'm like, you know what, yo? I'm like, I'm cool off you. I said, just let it go. He's like, damn, it's like that? I said, yeah, it's like that. Peace. Banged on. Deleted his number out of my phone. And, I was just like, damn, like, I was devastated for real, because I swore this was the man that God had told me was my husband. Okay, so again, that was...
So I want to cut in. I have been there where I was going through a spiritual awakening, and I dealt with a guy. I literally was, like, out of my mind with this guy. But I thought God was leading me to tell me these men were the men I was supposed to be dealing with. And I think they were at the time. Like, I feel like there was like a lesson there. But one thing I can tell you is that I prayed to God so heavily that to show me the truth. Like, please show me the truth, God. Please show me the truth. So I ended up dealing with, like, my last straw with men. He was a scammer from, I think, Nigeria or something. And it's so cliche that I had to have been out of my mind to fall for this guy, because I know about these scammers. I watch the shows. I know these things happen. And for me to totally just slip into that almost psychosis and believe in him and think that we were going to get married, I was out of my fucking mind. So I say all that to say, which I hate when people say that I know that these things happen. I can relate to, like, the stuff she's saying with, like, God saying this is your husband. But it's really dangerous when you bring spirituality into it, because some guys do use that to manipulate women or men or whomever who believe. I still believe in a higher power. I still believe in God. I do call them spirit God, and I talk to my ancestors. But I feel like I'm learning how to be a lot more discerning while using my spirituality, because before I was using discernment, but I was not really talking to God at the same time. So I was picking people who weren't right for me, and then if they were a-holes, I would just roll out. And then I was going through spiritual awakening, so then I was listening to God. Like, I thought I was listening to God a whole lot, but it was I don't know if it was just something else, and it was like a lesson I needed to learn. So the difference between her and me is that even though we're both like believing in the higher power and we're listening to God, etc., and listening to that voice that's telling us, oh, this is your person, you have to also pray to God to give you good judgment of this person that you think, because sometimes someone else could be telling you this is your person. It could be something else. It could be the devil. It could be a demon. It could be bad spirits. It could be something else telling you this is your person because they want to lead you off the path that you are on, like your higher path, your higher purpose with God. And so you have to do things to ensure, like, is this actually God or like an imposter? So that's the part I want to say about that. But I feel like because that part is mixing in, she's letting the delusion continue. But the delusion for her just really went too far when there were so many obvious signs. Like, for me, I left very quickly, and the scammer guy, it didn't take that long for me to find out that he was lying, but I literally had to like pray to God and find the sign, and that's how I found out he was lying. Like, he definitely didn't tell me the truth. I didn't know anyone else for them to tell me who he really was, like in her situation. So it was like I was completely just relying on God showing me the signs to get me into safety.
Like, end of May. Couple months pass. We're at the end of August. It's my birthday. I get a text message from a random New York phone number. I immediately knew it was him because I ain't know nobody else from New York. Nobody, had my phone number. I just ignored it. About a week after my birthday, I finally left, my son's dad. We moved out and we went back to my parents to start over. So that's where I'm going to end part 2, because somehow, some way, this man still found his way back into my life.
At this point, they both red flags. He got a man at home. He got a girl at home. What's the problem? At this point, in this point of the story, I know we get into some more spicy topics in this story, but as of right now, both of them are red flags. And I get it, you're about to move out and all that stuff, but how can you judge another man, even though he didn't say, I guess he did lie in the beginning,
I completely agree with him. The man that's talking in the brown hoodie. I don't know their names, sorry, but I just I just subscribed to them like recently, so I don't know their names or anything, but I agree with him because I do feel like that you should take time off between, especially when it's a toxic ass relationship. Like, it's not even like, oh, we just mutually just kind of grew apart. No, the shit is toxic as hell. That fucks with you mentally. Like, you need to take years, some time, like a lot. Like, I think about when I watched Sex and the City and they were saying, like, you deserve to have at least half the time that you dated to get over him. So, like, if you dated him for 3 years, you get 1.5 years to grieve and get over this guy. And I kind of think about that, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like you should give yourself, and I'm not saying it has to be the exact calculation, but you definitely need to give yourself, like, a lot of time. Like, if you dated for 7 years, it's probably going to take, like, 3 or 4 years to get over what happened, because it's like you are a different person now. You're not the same person that walked into that relationship. And I mean, these be years and years long relationships sometimes, a lot of times, and once you are an adult. And so you are like a whole nother person, and you change a lot too, especially women. Like, we compromise and we do a lot of changing to like appease the guy. And if he's an abuser, you've become something else to try to survive in that abusive relationship. So you need to heal, and you need to find out who you are again, and you need to practice better judgment and discernment moving forward. Like, what were the signs? Like, she's pointing out her red flags, but she's still there. So it's like, what were the signs in the past relationships that can help prevent you from falling into that again? Or if you see those signs, and if you see those signs, get out of it. Or a lot of times people just jump into something else because they just want to be picked and chosen and somebody and owned by someone. So it's like you're being needy. Like, you're jumping from one relationship to the next, and that's just a recipe for disaster. Like, you're not even really looking at this person as whether they have good character, are they a good person, do they have the same interests as you? Do they have the same values and dreams? And she had started out talking about a vision board that she was doing because of the book. Oh my gosh, what was the name of the book that she named by Oprah? I forgot the name. Was it The Secret? But she was talking about how she had this vision board, and it's like, does he fit into that vision board? Like, does he want the same things you want in the future? Do you want a man who's educated? Does he have kids, or does he want kids? Are you willing to have more kids? What kind of money does he make? Does he have any issues that could mess with your money? It's just like all these things that take time that you have to sit back and think about. And that's not sexy or fun. So a lot of people don't do those things. And then they wonder why they're always in these like really shitty relationships and their lives are just being ruined and they're not getting better. And that's why, because you're not taking the time to really analyze like what went wrong in my last relationships and what am I going to do different moving forward, and how am I going to get myself in a place so that I can have the strength to walk away when I go into the next relationship and it's not any good. Like, I don't want to be another 12 years into a crappy relationship after I just got out of another toxic one. Especially nowadays when men are like killing women at very high rates for just trying to leave a relationship. I don't think this is the time to play around and be like hopping from relationship to relationship and just assuming you're going to be able to get out alive if things go south.
Completely honest, I can get
Yeah, I think that was the biggest red flag.
But it's like, you still living with, but I think it's probably the rehab stuff.
It's more the transparency, because if that was the case, she could have just lied too. She was straight up. And the fact that she has kids, you gotta think kids and a baby daddy versus you having a girlfriend at home. Like that, I'm saying like that is like a bigger.
What? No,
I'm saying like I feel like her telling him like, oh yeah, I can handle that because I don't got none of that going on.
Yeah.
I got an open house. I live by myself. I don't have a girl, so it's kind of like she coming out of a situation. I'm about to be moving out, and he's like basically like I have an open space. And with him saying, actually, I do got a girl at home. It's kind of like, what the heck?
Still red flags to me. At the end of the day, I feel like going from somebody, you should give time to heal. Like her mom said, you love too fast. So that's a red flag. Not listening to your family is a red flag, yes, but also loving too fast is a damn red flag. Like, it just doesn't. So you got to look at it from both perspectives, if you ask me. But yeah, at this point, I will say both.
Part 3, I married a monster. Last we left off, I basically caught him in like a million lies, told him let it go. A few months later, I did get out of the situation and left my ex, moved out with my parents. I moved in with a best friend. We are like, let's say the end of September. I wake up to a Facebook message in the morning and I'm like, who the fuck is this texting me this early? So I'm like, oh, wow. And I open it up and he's like, good morning. And he's like, do you know who this is? And I'm like, yeah, I know who it is. Like, your fucking picture and your name are there. Like, what's up? And he's like, damn, like, how you been? Immediately gets into like, what's your situation? Did you ever wind up, leaving dude? So I'm like, still kind of wasn't feeling it because of all the previous lies and red flags. But I did hear him out, so I'm like, okay, so somehow that day, like, we just start talking all day back and forth. We talk on the phone for hours. That day turned into the next day, turned into all.
So that's the first mistake she made, is allowing him back into her life when there was all these red flags already. And when you're a parent and you're a single parent, you're dating, like, you had to be that much more responsible, because I keep thinking in the back of my mind while she's telling her whole story, like, she doesn't mention her kids a lot. And as a mother, like, all I can think about are her kids while she's making these decisions. And that's what the biggest red flag for her that she is like, she doesn't seem to put her kids, like, she doesn't make her kids a priority. She doesn't seem to consider their safety, especially having a daughter. But people could molest your children. It's just something I think about. Like, it's more likely to happen to me, in my opinion, if the person is not biologically related to the children. And it's just, I don't know. That's just something, like, I feel like he had already shown he had a past, like the DUIs. He's lying about that. He's living with a girl, but lying about, like, it's too much. And things I notice with these stories is the women are always entertaining some bullshit that they should have been just cut off. Like, why even entertain him? And to me, it's because she seemed like she's just trying to find someone to escape to. And I have friends that have done this. Like, they want to get out of their parents' house. She was living with her parents. She didn't like living there, even though it was probably the safest place for her kids to be, maybe. And then she goes to the friend, lives with some girlfriend, I think, which probably would have been the second best place for her to stay, and figure her life out, like get her money up, do what she gotta do to move out, get her own place with the kids, etc., etc. But instead, she's like entertaining Goofy here, who's already shown that he can't be trusted and that he's just a suspect individual. There's no way in hell I'd want him around my kids, just from what she's saying so far. The lies and everything he's done, like I don't want that around my children. I feel like it's not safe for them. I'd worry about their safety. I'd worry about how he's going to how's he going to potentially ruin my life because he's an alcoholic, like he's drinking and has a DUI. It's just, I don't, like my mother used to say, I could do bad by my damn self. Like I don't need to be with a man to help me do badly in life. And when my kids are depending on me, I can't afford any type of baggage and burdens to be dragging me down when I'm trying to move up in the world, especially as an African-American woman. It's just like, I got enough stuff working against me. I don't need the man who I'm sleeping with or who I'm choosing to bring into my life and my children's lives to be like a liability.
Finally, he's like, I really want to see you. Now, remember, he had the DUI and had just got out of rehab, so he didn't have a license. He didn't have a car. My engine still, was done. I didn't have a car. He has his roommate come and get me. So, come to find out, he didn't technically get his own place, but he moved in.
Yeah, because I don't know how old they are, but this is like a lot happening for them to just be trying to date. Like, they need to get their lives separately together. Like, he shouldn't even be worrying about her if he doesn't have a car. He just got a rehab. Like, I know you shouldn't even be dating when you're in rehab. Like, you shouldn't even be thinking about dating. Like, get yourself together, because people who have addictive personalities, that anything going wrong can make them spiral and go back into their addictions. So what is he doing? He's highly unstable, and she's not having the most stable life either.
Some guy renting a room and basically like telling me he pretty much had the whole house because the dude was like a crackhead type shit. All right, so bam, the roommate.
So his roommate is literally an effing crackhead, and he moved out from with the girlfriend, allegedly or supposedly, and now he's living with a crackhead guy. What was worse? I don't even know. Like, it's just, where's her judgment at? Like, why are you entertaining this guy? I'm going to sound like a broken record. Before this video's over, y'all going to be so over me, like, saying this. Because I'm like, dude, like, why is she talking to a guy who is rooming with crackhead guy? You are the company you keep. Why is he doing this? She's dragging herself down. And she's a pretty woman. Do you have to be dragging yourself down to this guy? Like, don't you have other options? She just doesn't have great judgment. Like, she already dealt with 2 toxic relationships, and this is where she's going with it, is screaming desperation and just being desperate to have any kind of guy in your life. And this is why I tell women, like, you literally can be any woman can be married, because there's always some bum looking to leech off you. Like, it's just, or looking to get a beard and have someone provide cover for them as they live a DL life. It's not hard to get married. It's rather, what are their values? What are you looking for in a husband? Because a lot of women they just want to be chosen. They just want to be the guy because America, and I say the whole world, like, really puts a premium on men. The patriarchy, they put men at the top. So for a man who's at the top of the food chain to choose little old me, like, it's supposed to be something. And these guys are losers.
He comes, picks me up. We go out. Crazy enough, our first date was basically bar hopping. I mean, he didn't really have no set destination. It's not like he was like,
He's an alcoholic who just got a DUI, still going through rehab, probably having pending cases, and they're bar hopping for their first date. Okay.
You out to a fancy restaurant or any of this. The roommate kind of tagged along most of the time. But nonetheless, we had a really great time. Of course, the attraction was like insane. I was feeling him, he was feeling me, and then once again, I'm back to thinking this is meant to be. So we chill, we hang out.
She is crazy. The kids are nowhere in this consideration. She has listed nothing that makes him seem like he's a viable partner to be considering to be your person, the one you say God sent to you to marry. Where is his job? What is his future looking like? What is it about him that's like he's the one? All she said was he's very attractive. Okay. Like, he must have been looking like something, because, I mean, like, he had nothing else going for him.
I do wind up going back, home with him that night. We had a good night. The next day, business as usual. I go back home. He's texting me. He misses me, like, right away. Telling me how much fun he had. Like, when can he see me again? He came to see me a couple of times. And like I said, we hung out a few times. I had took the bus there. And just normal, what I thought was dating. So, after a couple weeks, we were literally like inseparable. I mean, we were talking every day, all day. We'd be on the phone all night, just, talking for hours. We hung out as much as we could. And after about like a month, he asked, he's like, why don't you just move in? Like, we're together or talking.
Things are moving too fast. She has not mentioned her kids in all this time. We don't know how does he get along with the kids? Do the kids like him? What has he done to prove that he's the one, that he should be the father of her children? Because if they get married, he's stepdad, so he's their dad. She's not mentioning the exes. Are they having a problem with this? Like, are they about to come get the kids because they don't want them around a random new guy? She's just sliding over so many things that are like screaming at me as a mother. Like, oh my gosh, like, you're just a month in and he's talking about moving in together. Oh, okay. I'm trying to just spaz out. I'm trying to just stress out, but I'm flipping out, y'all. I'm flipping out. Okay, Woosah, let me keep going.
All the time, like, I want to be with you all the time, like, just move in. So, of course, the idea, of living with him, it excited me because I was really feeling him and everything seemed to be going perfect, So, and then again, with my situation, it's not like I was in a stable place anyway.
Exactly. You're using him, he's using you. That is the exact wrong reason to get in a relationship with somebody. Like, the worst possible effing reason. There is nothing she's listing where I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. He's going to be an excellent husband and great father. Like, it's because you don't have nowhere to really live and he's living with a crackhead. Like, there's nothing, y'all taking the bus to go see each other. Like, there's literally nothing about this that is looking cute to me. Nothing about it. It's gross. It's weird. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, where are her friends? Where's her family? Are they saying anything? Her mom already said she fell in love too fast. I don't even think she's in love with him. I think it's more of like a pick-me situation. Like, I want to be picked. I want a husband. And he's on my vision board. I'm thinking I'm manifesting this. I'm so desperate to be married. And I'm in an unstable I'm in an unstable living situation. It's just all the wrong reasons to be with somebody. That's literally all I can explain. Like, there's just nothing else to say. Like, this is so glaringly a red light, just a red light fired, 5-alarm fire going off saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
So I was like, okay, let's give this a try. So, I move in, and at first, everything's going great. He actually had a little doggy. Its name was Cookie, little Yorkie. And, we would take the dog for walks. I would help take care of the dog. I pretty much was like, oh, I got a man and a dog out of the situation. So about 2 weeks later.
So what I found to be off-putting about her story about Cookie the dog is she did not mention what the relationship was like between her kids and her new man that she just moved in with. She's talking more about a dog than her kids. Where are the kids? That's like, just, I need to know. When she finally mentions them, it's like a sigh of relief that they're not dead. Like, where are the kids? Where are the kids? Where are the kids? Are they with the grandparents, living with them now? Please let that happen because it seems like it'd be more safe for them. Are they living with their dads? Are they switching in and out with their dads? Like, having a co-parenting situation going on here? Like, where are the children? Are they okay? Do they like this new guy? Is he weird? What's the crackhead doing? It's just, who cares about Cookie the dog? Like, she does have a part of the story why she's talking about Cookie the dog, but I didn't think that Cookie the dog was like the first highlight of this moment after she moves in with this new guy with her children. Like, I felt like I'm expecting to hear like how the kids are interacting with this guy, because I hear these story times all the time But this is like one of the first times where I've heard a story time where the person had kids. Risa Tisa didn't have kids. A lot of the story times I hear, they don't have children, or they get married to the crazy guy, and he's the father of the kids. You know what I'm saying? This is like the first time where I've heard it where she's dating and she has kids from other people and dating a new partner. Like that's just my experience. Like this is the first time this happening, so I'm just like, where are the kids? Where are the kids? Where are the kids? And fuck a cookie. I don't care about the dog. I don't care about the dog. Like, where are the kids? Are they okay? How are they interacting with this guy? Are they getting along with him? Does he treat them well? Like, the fuck are we doing right now? Are they going to good schools? How are they adjusting to this move? Are they happy? Are they sad? Did they have to leave their friends? Are they angry about this? Like, where are the kids?
I come home one day and Cookie is gone. So I'm like, where's the dog? And I just remember, like, he literally was, like, fumbling over his words. Like, he did not have an explanation on where this dog was at. So now it's kind of getting, like, a little heated because okay, something's not right type shit. Yet again, like, where's the dog? Why aren't you giving me answers? So then he's like, all right, I'm going to tell you, but you got to promise you won't. So I'm like, what is it, Billy? The dog belonged to his ex-girlfriend, and he was pet sitting while she was on a cruise. I honestly was flabbergasted. I'm like, how do you fucking lie about a dog, for one? And two, why are you still in contact with this bitch? Like, what is going on here? So, you know, that was a whole ordeal. In that moment, I kind of knew I should have left and been done with him, because now it's almost like this is what a compulsive liar looks like.
You literally should have never been with him to begin with. It's not I should have left now because he lied about Cookie the dog and the ex-girlfriend on the cruise. You shouldn't be there at all. Like, you should never have been there to begin with. You shouldn't have entertained him when he decided to hit you up on Facebook and he with the wrong name. Like, okay, let me keep going. But this is how ludicrous this looks to me. I can't be the only person who thinks this is insanity. But this is what I'm seeing. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you even there to begin with? So obviously, you should have left. Because you should never even been there to begin with the kids. Because I don't know where they are. And this is crazy.
So, you know, like a month goes by. We're still, you know, high off the love and all that. He's still love bombing me to death every single day. I mean, you know, anything you could ask for from a man. He's complimenting me. He's flirting with me constantly. Can't keep his hands off me. A lot of affection. You know, if I ever did leave or we left.
She seems very self-centered. She has yet to mention children. It's just how he's making her feel. She doesn't come off to me as being a good mom. She seems a bit narcissistic herself and self-centered for sure. It's just me. Not the kids loved him. He was great with the kids. It was a great setup. The schools were great. Like, it's just nothing. My parents liked him. It's just nothing. It's just me. He's spoiling me. He's love bombing me and me. I'm so attracted to him. I don't care what kind of person he is. He's just really hot. Me. It's quite gross to watch. Really gross to watch.
He'd be messaging me how much he missed me. Very early on, you know, he had started talking about marriage. He started saying that he was a playboy all his life. He never thought he would feel this way, but he's finally to a point in his life that he wants to settle down. He wants a family. Mind you, he didn't have any kids of his own. And again, I did have 2. So, you know, these are the type things that he would tell me and say to me, like, on a regular basis. And of course, I'm just eating it all up. Like, oh my God, you know, he loves me so much. Like, I'm so lucky. I'm the luckiest woman in the world type shit. So this one night.
That's another red flag that she thinks she's lucky. I hate when people say that. Like, she mentions God, but now you're lucky. Why aren't you blessed? If you think God sent him to you, why are you lucky? I just hate when people call it luck. It's not luck. It's life. It's God is doing. It's spirit. It's a lot of other things, but it's not luck. And just the fact that she's saying that is showing, like, how childish she kind of is to be like, I'm lucky to be with this guy. I'm so lucky he picked me. Like, she's clearly extremely desperate to be with anyone. Just any man. And I guess this guy in her version, you know, let her tell it, he's attractive. You know, maybe the cutest guy she's ever got to be with, because that's how desperate she's acting to be with this man. And so I hear a lot of immaturity and ignorance and selfishness. Maybe some naivete is in there as well, but it's just like it's it's mind blowing. Like, you're not talking about marriage right now. You can't be. Like, what has she shown that makes you feel like this would be a good idea?
Or morning, because he was working overnight. He comes home from work and he leaves his phone on the bed. He goes to the bathroom, phone dings. Now, mind you, it's like 6 in the morning, so, who the fuck is messaging? Open up the phone, we start talking. I'm basically just trying to get any information I can out of her, because I clearly see there was like a little back and forth while he was working. Nothing crazy, but more so her like messaging him and him just being very like short with her. So when I asked her like,
So this part is very important. So she's open. She sees the phone dinging. It's some female. I guess she calls the female that's talking to her or texting back and forth. I can't remember the detail on that part. But basically, you're going to see something about his character. And I don't know if people are going to pick up on this about this man with his relationship with this other woman. There's something that really stuck out to me. And I'll go over it once she explains it further.
The deal, and I let her know who I am. I'm like, look, I'm his girl now. I don't know if he told you. She's like, well, I've been knowing him for a while, and I'm going to tell you right now, he always asking me for money. I'm always sending him money. He owes me blah, blah, blah amount. I'm always buying him sneakers, getting the sneakers sent to him, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, girl, I'm going to tell you right now, like, I do all this shit for him, and he don't even fuck me. He don't even come around me. This is what she says to me. He don't ever want to hang out with me, yada, yada, yada. So, he comes out the bathroom.
Okay, so remember that detail. He is a user. He uses women for material things. She gives him money. He owes her all this money. She sends him sneakers. And it seems like she's sending him lots of sneakers because she didn't just say one pair. And the key thing you need to remember is that he doesn't sleep with this girl. You have a woman spending money on you, buying you shoes, and I'm pretty sure not cheap, because male sneakers, especially he's from New York, whatever, they can run in the hundreds of dollars. You have someone spending that type of money on you, and you're not going on dates with her, you're not sleeping with her. What world does that make any sense? Like, men love to have sex, so why would you be taking stuff from this woman and not having any sexual activity with her? Why is she allowing that to happen? Like, it's like he's accumulating. He seems to attract women who are very desperate to be just in his presence, to just be having some type of any kind of connection to him, even if it's just friendship, even if it's just an acquaintance who you talk to every now and then, but I'm gonna go spend some money on you. Like, he somehow has something about him that's like this great attraction to women, where they end up just being so easily used by him without him really not offering much back to them, like not really reciprocating all that is being given to him. He's not offering much back to these women. So the main thing I want y'all to, it's just two main parts, is him using women sticks out to me. He has that habit there, and the second thing is him not sleeping with her. That stuck out to me.
I immediately address him, not even for like what she said, but like when he comes out the bathroom, I immediately address him, not even for like what she said, but like, why are you telling you got a girl? So we get into it again, quick little argument, but he does whatever I want. He's so sorry. He's begging me for forgiveness. He blocks the number, deletes it, tells her, like, that's my girl. I'm done. I'm cool off you. She starts getting mad about the money. He says he'll pay her back one day, blah, 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 blah. Now, what kind of started creeping up over time, the more time I spent with him, was the drinking. I drink socially. Most people do. I didn't really see anything wrong with it. He was working a lot, every night, overnight. And on the weekends, we would hang out. We would go out to eat. We would have some drinks. Sometimes we would just chill in the crib. I would get some wine. He would have a 6-pack. And we'd just talk, get to know each other. So I really didn't think much of it. So like one night I had like almost a full bottle of wine. It was big as shit. And he winds up passing out. It's like 2:30 in the morning. We were up drinking. He passes out. I leave my bottle on the table. Next morning, I got up at like 8 o'clock in the morning. He wasn't in bed. I go downstairs. The fucking wine is gone, bitch. And he's fucking passed out in the kitchen in a chair. So I'm like, how did you pass out at 2:30 and then somehow by 8 a.m., drank a whole fucking bottle of wine. So he's passed out in the kitchen, and I'm starting to see, like, yeah, he has a problem. He's got a drinking problem. Out of nowhere, like, a few days later, he comes home from work one morning, tells me he quit his job.
I don't know how I would feel about my kids living in a house with one drug addict for sure, that she said, and then another alcoholic.
Yeah, this is just way too soon to even have someone meeting your children. At this time, she's still getting to know him. And at this point...
Okay, yeah, 100 for both of them. Like, the little 100 emoji, like, all over the place for them. It's too much to even... Woo, okay, let me see where I was going to start at. Okay, so she's finding out he's an alcoholic, and husband, the man here, I don't, like I said, don't know their name, Mr. Messy. That's what people are calling him in the comments. So Mr. Messy is saying he doesn't feel comfortable with the children not only living with a crackhead, but now they're living with the alcoholic. Bullseye. Like, that's it. Bingo. That's the fucking stuff right there. Like, yes. So I am not the only one thinking this is insanity. Like, yes, I know the economy's crazy. I know bills are high. But I can't. I would be living with my parents. They'd be getting on my nerves. I'd be getting on their nerves. But we gonna be just dealing with each other. Because I cannot even. And then the Mrs. Messy saying, you know, this is too early for people to be meeting your children. I agree. I 100% agree. Like, not only is it too early for you to be meeting my kids, but it's damn sure too early for me to be living with you, with my babies. Like, what's going on here? So, again, I try to have some. I'm trying to give this woman a little bit of grace, like, because I don't know her age. So I'm like, okay, maybe she's in her 20s. People are a little bit reckless in their 20s. We're a little bit more careless because we don't really know about life. We don't really know what we're getting ourselves into. But she's already had like 2 major relationships that I know of. Like, well, the one was like that one guy, and she said she learned from him. He was in the streets. Like, I guess he was a drug dealer. I don't know. So she had that guy, and then she didn't learn from that, apparently. But she seemed to have learned from it because she got with an older guy who seemed to be more stable. So you got 2 completely different types of guys for your kids' fathers. And then you end up with this guy? Like, this is where you go after those 2 bad experiences? Like, this is just... It's a lot. So even if, considering her age, even if she's still in her 20s, you know, say like she's late 20s. Like, even if she's in her 20s, like, you still have 2 examples of, like, what you don't want at this point, where you should be able to make some better decisions moving forward. And it just doesn't seem to be happening.
No, he's a pathological liar. She shouldn't even have just moved in. I get that it was uncomfortable with her friend, probably, but it's like picking a friend over a stranger. I'm pretty sure your friend will have your best interest as far as, you know, your children. Because that was like, you're living in a 2-bedroom with a person that does drugs and a man you barely know. So I'm just confused on where are the kids sleeping?
Exactly. It's like the kids are like this unpaid actor. Like, they're just there somewhere. Like, we don't really hear the details of, like, where the kids are. And that's all I could think about, because they're so vulnerable and they're dependent on their mother to protect them and the adults in their life that she brings around them. And it's just like, where are they? Like, where are they sleeping? Like, that's a great question. Are they on the couch? Because I'm assuming she's in a room with her husband or new man, and then the crackhead's got a room. So where are the kids at? And that scares me even more, because if they're out there in the open, it just screams like sexual abuse, people molesting. The kids don't even have a room to, like, kind of go in and lock a door to go to sleep. Like, they're just like, they would just be out there exposed, and the mom has to sleep at some point. So who's protecting the children? Who's watching over them? It's not good. This is not good at all.
There's just a lot of things that's unclear at this moment.
So, boom, he quits his job. That's where we left off. Here's part 4, continuing. I married a monster. So he comes out of nowhere that he quit his job, you know, no backup plan. Now, before I had got with him, about 6 months prior, I had actually stopped working because, again, I was in school full time. I was having health issues. I had my kids. So it was just a lot. So, you know, I was a stay-at-home mom. But I did have like a little online business to make some money, you know, so I could do shit for me and the kids and buy us stuff. So anyway, I didn't have, you know, enough to take care of everything. So I immediately go head back to the job I was at for years, you know, while I was in school, bartending and waitressing. But I was making like really good money. So, you know, on that front, we were good. I was a little irritated because I'm working all the time. Meanwhile, he really wasn't showing no ambition. He was laid up. Now, here's something that I had left out when we first initially talked.
Now, this sounds familiar, right? It sounds like he worked long enough until he felt like he had her, and now he's like suddenly doesn't have a job, doesn't have ambition. So it feels like to me he's going to start using her like he did with the other lady.
Around texting back and forth. So one day he asked me, he was like, yeah, do you know somebody named Tim? Now again, my husband was from New York. He had left New York when he was 18. His mom sent him to Virginia to live with his sister. He was in Virginia for a few years, met a friend there, moved to Philly with this dude that he was friends with. All right, so boom, that's how he gets to Philly. I'm from the suburbs. So anyway, he says, yeah, do you know somebody named Tim? And I'm like, Tim who? He says the name, like, I'm like, sounds familiar. I'm like, but I don't really know, who he was. And he's like, yeah, he says he knows you. He says, I work with him. He says he knows you. And I'm like, well, he don't know me because I don't know him. He might know of me. He goes on to say, he goes, yeah, he knows your dad. He said, does your dad work at Pepsi? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, yeah, he told me that your dad works at Pepsi and he gets to $1 or whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Like, whatever, right? So now, a couple weeks goes by. I'm the one working. I'm taking care of him, which again, I'm an empath. That's what I do. I find somebody to fix type shit. He's like, what's up with your dad? Like, do you think your dad could get me a job? Now I'm like, my dad had been at Pepsi for like...
I'm an empath. I'm not fixing shit. Being an empath does not mean I'm about to fix you. Okay? I am not a psychologist. An empath just means you can read energy and you're more self-aware of things, and like, you just have more awareness of a lot of things, like spatial awareness. You just got some different skills that other people may not have. You can read emotions, you can read people, all of that. Like, that doesn't mean you need to go fix everyone or fix anyone for that matter. I actually joke and call myself a dark empath because but I'm not. I know I'm not. Like, a dark empath is someone who's can read people and stuff, and they use it to manipulate them. Not necessarily a narcissist, but like, someone who's like using your empathic abilities to do bad things. And I guess like of course you can have empaths to do what she's doing, but it's not, I'm an empath, this isn't just necessarily what I'm doing. No, empaths are not monoliths either, and we do function in a plethora of different ways. So her using that is more like a crutch to an excuse to explain her being like a doormat and letting him walk all over her and use her and lie to her, and now she's taking care of him and basically becoming his mommy as well. Like, she doesn't have 2 kids already to take care of. So it's a lot, and I just had to correct that because I'm like, being an empath does not mean this is the road we're walking down. So if I tell somebody I'm an empath, don't get it twisted, because you are not going to be getting taken care of. I've never ever had the mindset of I need to be taking care of a man because I'm an empath. I'm not doing it. I can read you well, so if you're upset or you had a bad day at work or whatever, I can be there for you. I can support you, but you need to be making more money than me off top. So that's the first thing. Secondly, I know that even if I tried when I was younger to try to like help somebody through tough times, like, I learned very quickly, like, that's just not what I'm meant to be doing. Like, that's not a skill set that I have. I didn't go to school for that, so I have no clue how to help you with your mental issues, especially when I got my own to worry about. So yeah, that ain't it. That's not the excuse to go with for why you're letting this man be a loser and you are just carrying him along and he's like a big bag of burden. It's just too much.
30 years, he ran the whole quality control department, so at the end of the day, he could have got him a job, but, he don't know him, plus the fact they didn't even like him, because again, he didn't have a license, he didn't have a car, whatever. So, at this point, I'm getting a little irritated because he's not really showing any other ambition, trying to get a job, he's just laying up. I noticed that the drinking's creeping up a little more, too. Now, looking back, hearing the story out loud, as I replay it to myself, it's fucking embarrassing, right? Like, how did I ever let myself deal with any of this shit? But, at the time, he was still on that love bombing shit, heavy. Anything I wanted to hear, the way I needed to feel, he was making sure he came through. Now, one day, we were chilling.
So, to me, it's like, okay, again, it's me, not hearing what he's doing for the kids. That's of any benefit to them. Like, he's just love bombing her. Like, that's her forever excuse. You can only love bomb for so long, by the way. I don't know how long they're together, but I mean, love bombing doesn't last. It doesn't last that long for narcissists. It's like a month, if that. So I don't really know. I don't believe her that he was doing all this great love bombing. How can you love bomb me so wonderfully with no job? Like, that in and of itself for most women, I think would be would make me unattracted to you. Like, now I don't have attraction for you because you don't have any money. You don't have a job. You're sitting on the couch. Man with no ambition, I'm not attracted to that. Get your ass off the couch and get yourself. Like, get some confidence. Get your life. Get some self-confidence. Be about your money. Providing for your family. Like, what are you doing? There's not enough love bombing in the world to excuse the fact that you are broke with no job, no money, no ambition, negative.
We were laying up, pillow talk. His phone keeps ringing. Now, his phone was on the nightstand near me. I see the name Tony pop up. So when I say the phone, it was back to back to back to back to back. This man kept calling him. So I'm like, you might want to get that. Like, might be an emergency. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what grown man calls another grown man like that? Something's up. I'm like, no, he probably saved some chick's name in his phone, some chick, with a dude's name. I'm back, yo. I'm like, I don't believe you. I don't believe that's another man calling your phone. Now, when this dude picks up, there's no urgency in his voice. Like, wasn't shit going on like that. He just like, oh, damn B, like, what's up with you? Like, and I'm like, what? Introduces me. He's like, oh yeah, this is wifey, yada, yada, yada. So he had met Tony in rehab and they became friends. They both got out around the same time. He relocated to New York after rehab. And because my husband's from New York, his aunt had a church in Harlem and was a reverend. So
she kind of scooches over a lot of different things in her stories that are highly concerning. So she says she knows a Tim. He said he's asking her about this guy named Tim. Like, I guess he's saying he knows this Tim. But essentially, I feel like that's a fake story. I don't know if he found this guy off her Facebook page or whatever. But she doesn't really ever go into detail, like, how he knows this Tim that she knows. I feel like the story was used, because he's a pathological liar, to get in good with her father so that her father could help him get a job at Pepsi. Because he's lazy, he didn't want to actually have ambition and go to school and work hard and go to interviews and get, fix your resume and do it the long way like the rest of us. He wanted to, like, just have somebody know somebody and get a hookup with a job, because he's just too lazy to, like, really do the work to get a job. And so when she first brought that story up and mentioned her father, I think she said she talked to her father, I want to say he didn't want to vouch for him. I can't remember that detail, but the father, I wouldn't want to vouch for a drunk alcoholic person. Like, what if he does badly, then it looks bad on her father, because her father's the one that brought him into the company. So I think her father didn't want to do it, and then so her husband ended up going another route to, like, get the job there. But it just, again, is showing me her husband. I'm just gonna call the husband because they're gonna marry eventually, but. And Billy Bob is his name, I guess. I don't know if that's even a real name, but I'm going to say, like, he basically just leeches off people. And he's finding ways to, like, leech. And it's just, like, ick. So now you got this thing going on with Tony, which is really fucking strange. Like, why is he calling? Like, there's an emergency. And then when he calls him back, he's just like, yo, man, hey, man, what's up? And there's, like, no urgency there. That screams to me that y'all got something going on. Because that's the only time people are like that emotional to talk to someone. Like she said herself, because she already knows better, she's just like ignoring the signs because she wants to be chosen and picked. But she said herself that, like, why is a man calling you at like 6 a.m? And so she actually thought it was a woman who he put into his phone as a man's name, which of course men do that as well. So I can understand why she would have that line of reasoning, because why would a grown man be calling another grown man at 6 a.m? But then lo and behold, they call the guy. It's actually a real man, and he has no urgency in his voice. What were you calling my husband for? Like, so crazy at 6 a.m, like you just, like it was an emergency. There is no emergency. That's a red flag. I hate saying red flag because people use it so much, but that literally is like a 5-alarm fire to me. Like, what's up with this? And her husband always seems to have these men around. Like, you got the crackhead man, you got the Tim guy that he's claiming to know to get to her. Now you got the Tony guy. So you guys just try to keep up with all these different men that are popping up, and they have these weird relationships with their husband. Like, it's just, like, doesn't seem healthy, and it's very suspect.
Put Tony in touch with his family, because Tony didn't have no family out there, according to him. Now, that right there was the gut feeling I should never have fucking endured. Because now that I know everything I know, it was clear as day what I was seeing, right? So now we get to the point of me going up to New York to meet his family for Thanksgiving. So this is my first time meeting them. You know, I had talked to them on the phone a few times. You know, a lot of time. They were together for like 10 years. From what I heard of her, she was a lot of drama. She had beef with my husband's ex. She beefed with the other brother's wife. So I didn't really hear great things about her. But so when we go to New York, we take a charter bus from Philly to New York. On the way, my husband's like, oh, you know, let's get a bottle. It's the middle of the day, like you're going to see her family. He has a bottle in his bag on the bus. He's drinking out my thing, so I wasn't doing it. But what, because they were picking us up, taking us to their house, and we were going to stay the night. As fuck. Like, as soon as we get in the car, his brother like, damn, son, like, you fucked up. Like, you stumbling and shit. Like, what's wrong with you, yo? Like, why you come up here like that? So the brother's jumping on him. Why did you just put me in this situation? You know what I mean? So, all right, we get to the crib.
She's always centering herself. I don't know why she is like worried about why he put her in a situation. Like, what situation is that? That he's drunk? And it seemed like she didn't have an issue with it until the brother was saying something. Like, I don't know why she's centering herself in that situation. Like, if anything, she should be happy that the brother is also speaking on something that she also sees as a problem. He's an alcoholic. So you should be happy that his family is calling him out too. And you also should be concerned that his family is calling him out, because it tells me that he seems to be getting worse. Or maybe they just feel like enough is enough. Like, how much, you just got a DUI? Like, how much drinking are you going to do? You've been in rehab. So to me, I would be observing more of like his family's behavior towards him, because this is her first time meeting his family in person. So why are you not taking notes and thinking to yourself like, okay, so this is not typical behavior, or his behavior is worsening. It's enough to be alarming to the family who knows him very well, and she barely knows him. So instead of her centering herself and making it about her, like, oh, why did he put me in a situation? Me. You should be worrying about like your safety of your children and yourself, and what you're bringing into your life as a whole, and how is that going to affect you all in a positive or negative way, which of course in this sense it seems like it's going to be very negative. So I don't know, it seems like she's not looking at bigger picture. She's just, again, centering her feelings and how does she feel in this moment. I don't even know where the kids are. This is Thanksgiving. Are the kids with her? I don't know. Because she's just centering herself like she usually does. She just lacks good judgment of character, good discernment skills. She just struggles to really like observe moments and see like them for what they are. She's very like out there. It's like she's like spaced out. It's just really strange.
Now, as soon as I get alone with the girlfriend, this chick starts with these fucking crocodile tears. She's like, oh, you know, we're so happy he met you. She tells me the whole truth of the story. It wasn't just one DUI. That's not why he had court-ordered rehab and was in jail. It was 2 DUIs. And it wasn't just 2 DUIs. The second DUI, he had tried to run from the police. So, meanwhile, he gets locked up. Nobody hears from him. Nobody knows where he's at. His mom is like spiraling. She comes up to Philly, her and the aunt, they get a hotel. Now everybody's looking for him. I'm just like, believe this right now. Like, what is happening? So now, you know, outside or trying to pretend weren't in front of my face was definitely real. He had a serious drinking problem. So boom. Next day, we go to his mom's for Thanksgiving dinner. And guess who shows up? The mom invites Tony to Thanksgiving. Because why? Again, Tony goes to the church. He's a part of the church community. And he had no family. So the mom invited him to Thanksgiving. So when Tony shows up, he's flamboyant. Like,
who didn't see that coming? Who didn't see that coming?
Fruity as fuck. Like, and
Tony is flamboyant and fruity as fuck. Tony is gay. Okay, can we just like say what it is? Tony is fucking gay. I don't know if Tony's living as a gay man. If he's out of the closet, he's gay. And this is the man that was just calling her husband like 50 million times at 6 a.m, acting so pressed to get a hold of him like an angry girlfriend. This is that Tony. Are we seeing how the pieces are falling together, y'all? Like, this is connecting the dots. And he don't got no family either. Where's his family? It's like he's only in that area because of her husband. Because he's ingratiating himself into their family. Like, he's going to their church. Now he's coming to Thanksgiving dinner. It makes me feel like her and her husband met him in rehab. I'm like, are they in a relationship? How does he know his family? Why is he so involved inside of his family, like involved as part of his family? It just feels like an ex.
I want to make a disclaimer now. Is nothing wrong with being gay, bisexual, fluid, whatever you want to do, that's your prerogative, but especially when you're in an intimate relationship with somebody else. That's all I'm going to say about that. So as soon as we leave, and Thanksgiving was cool, like his mom, she was really sweet and everything. The rest with who the fuck you are and owning that shit, especially when you're in an intimate relationship with somebody else. Fluid, whatever you want to do, that's your prerogative, but it is something wrong with not being honest with who the fuck you are and owning that shit, especially when you're in an intimate relationship with somebody else. That's all I'm going to say about that.
So you notice how she always glides over the most important parts of the story that glaringly says her husband is gay or bisexual. So she's like, oh, that's all I'm going to say is, like, you should let people know who you are and owning who you are if you're in a relationship. What relationship? Is Tony in a relationship? Are you talking about your husband right now? Like, it's like the vagueness isn't cutting it for me. Like, I need to know all the details. You're going to tell your story time. Tell it all. I know it's embarrassing, but you're here telling it. You need to just spill all the deets. Like, what's going on here? So you're basically implying, because now we have to imply, because she's not saying it out front, out just straight out, and she does that throughout the whole story. She doesn't tell all the fucking details that show that she just completely overlooked things that she really could not overlook. Tony is gay. He is, I don't know if he's lying about being a gay man. Whether he is or not, it's obvious he's gay. Or at least bisexual, one of the two, don't matter. And then her husband is rocking with this dude. He's calling him. He's like, well, I met him in rehab, yada, yada, yada. I thought her husband was actually going to lie somewhat well and say, I'm his sponsor. So he was calling me whenever he needs help to stay on the wagon. He calls me. But what kind of sponsor are you when you're drinking your ass into oblivion still after rehab? Like, her husband's not really a sponsor. And that's another part of it, is like, you're not supposed to be having relationships when you're trying to, like, get better. So her husband having a relationship with her, and even dealing with Tony, who's gay or bisexual, like, it's a lot going on that her husband shouldn't even be doing. He should have just been single and finding himself. Like, what the F? But, like, my main concern here is just the fact that she glosses over really important, huge, big chunks of details that need to really be parsed out. It's like, if you're going to tell the story and maybe do it to help others, you need to really dig in there and admit, like, the guy was gay, but I wanted to be in a relationship so badly, like, I just ignored it, that my husband was possibly gay or bisexual. But we're going to continue. You all are going to see what's coming up. You're going to see what I'm saying as more details unfold.
As soon as we leave, and Thanksgiving was cool, like his mom, she was really sweet and everything. The rest of the family was great. As soon as we get on the elevator, the brother, he looking at Billy Bob, and he's like, yo, damn, son, like, what's up with your man's, like, yo, he gay? It's just like that. And the girlfriend, she chimes in, she's like, oh, he's definitely gay. Now, my husband is looking at them, he looking at me, he's acting like he's confused, like he don't see what the fuck everybody else sees, and I'm basically co-signing. I'm like, yeah, like, it was obvious. Like, I'm looking at him like, you can't tell? You don't see it? So that right there.
Now you see how she finally gets it together and gets on board with the family, who knows him very well. I like his brother, because his brother seems to be really real and just shoots it straight from the hip, which I'm assuming they're from New York, and that's how New Yorkers tend to be. I love that. Like, be straightforward with me. Like, don't fucking sugarcoat and jump around the bush. Like, just say what the fuck you want to say. Like, just say it out, straight out. Like, I don't want no innuendos, no implications, no confusion. Like, just say it with your whole chest. I love the brother, because that's what he does. He's clearly saying, is Tony a gay man? Her husband is sitting here trying to act like he don't know what they're talking about. The girlfriend of the brother says, yeah, he definitely has to be gay. The wife is saying, his wife is the woman talking. I don't know if I got her name. She is also a horrible name, y'all, so bear with me. But she's also like, yeah, he's gay. Like, she's co-signing with the brother and the brother's girlfriend, his wife is. So now you got three people against him. He knows Tony the best out of all four of out of the four, that group of four. He knows Tony the best, and he's sitting here like boo-boo the fool, like he don't know what they're talking about. That's a red flag, especially for someone that you know is a pathological liar. And she should know by now what he looked like when he lying. He sound like he looking crazy while he's lying. Like, he just sound like he looking like a dumbass. Like, it's too much. It's too much, and y'all gonna see what I'm talking about as the story continues to unfold. What these true details is gonna come out. It's gonna come out.
It was like the instant, like, my gut was screaming, no, something about this shit ain't right. And then when we came home from New York, that's when he hit me with the, will you marry me? All right, part 5, I married him.
So she's full of desperation. She let that whole thing go because he said, will you marry me? Like, he knew he needed something to take her mind from what she was clocking. But for me, that wouldn't have worked. It's like, nah, I'm good. You know, you're clearly gay or bisexual. And like she said, I don't care about this stuff. But obviously, if you're gay, you're not going to be into me. So how's that going to work? And then if you're bisexual, you can't even be honest with yourself. So what the F? And you've already lied about living with a girlfriend. Like, how do I know you're not going to be cheating on me? And now you got double the amount of people that you could be cheating with because you like men and women. It's just too much. Like, me personally, I wouldn't mind being with a bisexual person. I don't really care about people's, sexual orientations, whatever. It shouldn't do good for you. As long as you're happy, you're safe, whatever. I could care less about that. It's just the way you're carrying yourself. Are you a person of honor and honesty and integrity? Are you a good person? You know what I'm saying? Because you can't be bringing stuff back to me, making me unsafe because you're living a high risk lifestyle. And nobody wants to be cheated on. So that's a whole nother video for another day. Because the way I look at relationship stuff is definitely different from how a lot of other people do. I'm definitely not traditional in any way, shape, or form. So I don't even care about that. I just feel like he's just not a good person. Her husband is a pathological liar, which a lot of alcoholics are. My mother is an alcoholic and she drinks a lot. She's a narcissist. Love my mom to bits, but that's what it is. And so my brother is the same way. He's an alcoholic. He lies a lot. Like, for some reason, alcoholics just tend to lie a lot. Actually, I think a lot of addicts do. I'm not really sure why. I don't know if they got in the habit of, like, I have to hide things because I learned, like, people get mad when they find out about my addictions or whatever. I don't know, but I know that they lie a lot. They lie a lot. And her husband is awful. Yeah. But he says, let's get married, and she just forgets everything. She just has amnesia of, like, everything that just happened in New York. She has amnesia of Tony calling the house at 6 a.m. She has amnesia of him living with a girlfriend, lying about that. Or another girl calling him still that he didn't tell, I'm in a relationship now, don't call me this time. Like, she should have known about her. Or about crackhead. We still don't know what a crackhead is. We never really hear about the crackhead. They went on a date with the crackhead when they first went on their first date or whatever, bar hopping. And the crackhead came along. But that's like the last thing I've heard about the crackhead. And you saw how she went to Thanksgiving dinner. We didn't hear shit about our kids. Where are the kids? Where are the kids? Where are the kids? Where are the babies? Where are they? Are they home with the crackhead? Did they go with her to Thanksgiving and she just don't care where they at, what they doing to bring them into the story? Are they with her parents for Thanksgiving? Are they with their dads for Thanksgiving? Where are the babies? Where are the kids at? I don't know. She don't know. We don't know. I don't know.
So yes, he did ask me to marry him. Surprisingly enough, I did say no. He asked a second time. I said no again. And by the third time, I did finally say yes. By this point, when the new year had came, I had stacked up some bread. We moved back to the suburbs. We got a house. We got a car. He did get back to
So she stacked up some bread. She basically bought their house.
Work eventually with some temp agencies. So things were like definitely moving along at that point. About 2 weeks after our engagement, he comes to me that he's seen on Indeed that Pepsi was hiring. Once again, he asked me if I can ask my dad to help him get a job. I reach out to my dad. My dad, hey, can we get Billy Bob a job? He tells me I'll get him a job if he pushes back marrying you. And, I was really hurt by that. And I was just like, what? And I took the ultimatum to Billy Bob. And he was like, no, like, you're going to be my wife. I want to marry you. Like,
Dad cares. Dad's smart. Dad sees what she refuses to see, just like everybody else sees what she refuses to see. Dad knows this guy is not it. And Dad is hoping that if she slows things down, she will see the light and end up just not marrying him at all. Narcissist's husband is trying to push it quickly because his mask is going to slip soon. She's going to get over him soon. And I'll break that down to you all about how the being in love and all that, how that whole process works in another video. But he knows that his time is running, his clock is ticking, the time is running out. He's got to lock her down before she can get away. He's got to trap her with marriage. So he's like, nope, I don't want to push the marriage back, the wedding back. Because it's like, hello, like, if you want this job with Pepsi and you know she's going to be your wife for the rest of your life, what's the rush? What's the rush? Because you know if she has a little bit more time to think about it and watch you move, how you move, she's going to walk away, hopefully. So dad is essentially trying to save her from making a huge mistake in her life, and she just isn't listening.
So I told my dad, we kept it moving. A couple weeks later, my dad reaches out to me. He's like, do you trust him? And I was like, yeah. Don't ask me how the fuck I came to that conclusion, but yeah. And he was like, I'm gonna tell you, I don't trust him. And he's like, I'm gonna tell you right now, when he gets everything that he wants and needs from you, he's gonna switch up on you. That's what he told me. And I was like, okay, whatever. So now June comes and Billy Bob starts working at Pepsi. Now we had announced our engagement about April, and I just wanted to do like something simple, a courthouse wedding. He, on the other hand, wanted this big grand affair. He said this was the only time he was going to do this, and he wanted a wedding. So I did pick a date in October. We started planning, inviting people. 2 weeks before our wedding, one day, he stops and looks at me and asks, would you still love me if I was bisexual? And I was like, what? I'm like, what? I'm like, are you? And he was like, yeah. He shook his head. He said, yeah. And I was like, you're joking, right? And he was like, nah. And I was like, I was stunned. I really didn't even know what the fuck to say.
Now, I don't know how she's stunned or surprised when all the signs are there. I'm flabbergasted that she was stunned. Like, I'm so shocked. And I'm telling you, a lot of these videos I'm going to go over, I am literally shocked. Like, I don't have any other words for it. And I thought I was pretty well cultured and saw some of everything. And I watch a lot of true crime. And these stories are just, like, mind-blowing. So, yeah, I don't know if it's the way they're telling it. I don't know what it is. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening here? And so the fact that she's, like, shocked that he's saying, would you still love me if I was bisexual, is crazy to me. It's like, you weren't thinking already that he might be bisexual? Like, I'm surprised she didn't bring it up. Like, are you? Like, if you are, it's okay, or whatever. The fact that she's trying to act like it's the first time this has ever been brought up ever in life in any kind of sort of way is insane to me. Like, she acts like he just never had a weird Tony and weird stuff going on with the brother saying this guy's gay. Weird, just a whole situation with that. Like, she's acting like that never happened. She just totally out of sight, out of mind. Like, she just emptied it out of her brain like it's never was a thing. And now she's like so shocked that he's like, would you still love me if I was bisexual? It's just insane to me that her brain wasn't already thinking that, basically. Like, what? Like, yeah, like, I would still love you, or I don't want to be with someone who's bisexual. I was worried about it, and I was thinking about it, and now you're confirming it to me, like, by bringing it up right before we get married. And he's trying to test her. He's trying to test her. He got her. He's very manipulative. He got her to say she would marry him finally, and now he brings this up like right before they go get married. It's just like so fucking fake, so gross, and I wouldn't want nothing to do with him just because of the type of person he is. I don't like his character.
And then he backtracked and he was like, no, I'm just playing. And I'm like, are you though? Because I kind of had a gut feeling all this time. And hey, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that, but at least give me the truth and let me decide what I want to do, right? Of course, I knew he wasn't joking. I don't think any straight man jokes about something like that, but hey, I didn't have the concrete proof or evidence. I almost felt like it was his way of telling me the truth.
The concrete proof and evidence is Tony calling your house at 6 a.m. with urgency, like acting like a psycho, calling your husband, but then like having no urgency when they do get on the phone. Tony coming to Thanksgiving dinner, and he's like flamboyantly gay type guy, even though he's not saying he's gay, he acts like he's gay, and just so obvious with it. And then your husband saying this would be the last straw for me. Like, that would have been like the last thing where I'm like, okay, no, and no, straight men do not joke like that. They do not. I am a firm believer. The only men who would say something like that is because they're trying to test you to see if you're okay with it. Like, if she would respond differently and be like, oh yeah, I don't care, then he would have been just out with it. Like, yeah, I'm bisexual, blah, blah, blah. And life would have moved on. But the fact that she's actually so weirded out by it, he now feels like he has to go back into the closet and hide who he truly is. And she seems to be perfectly okay with that because she just wants this fairy tale that doesn't exist.
Without outing himself and telling the truth, right? Nonetheless, the wedding was 2 weeks away. Again, everything was paid for, planned. I was excited to be his wife. I was literally blind in love. Our wedding night comes, and he decides to invite all these fucking people to stay the night at our house. So his brother, his brother's girlfriend, her cousin, his girl.
I don't think she's blindly in love, because if she was blindly in love, she would be able to accept the fact that he's bisexual. It's like, you're in love with the idea. You're in love with the figment of your imagination. You're in love with love itself, and just getting to say my man, my man, my man, or my husband. You're not in love with him, because if you were, and he brought that up to you, he asked you, would you still love me if I was bisexual? You would have said, yes, I would still love you, whether you're bisexual or not. People throw around the word love a lot and don't really know what it means, and it's just weak at this point because everyone just throws it around. But it's like, that isn't true love. Like, true love doesn't have conditions. It's unconditional. So if you truly loved him, you wouldn't care that he was bisexual. You wouldn't have reacted that way. Even if you were surprised, I mean, if you're blindly in love, as you claim, you would be like, yeah, okay, whatever, I don't care. I'm going to marry you no matter what. I love you no matter what. That's fine. You would want him to be himself. You wouldn't want him to feel like he has to hide who he is, which she's perfectly okay with him doing that so that she can continue with her ideal of what she thinks that her marriage should look like. And that's, to me, not true love at all.
Friend, and I'm like, you know, we're first night husband and wife. Like, don't you think we should be alone type shit? Like, but of course, that's not, you know, what was on his mind. It was just about him and what he wanted and his family. So they stayed. Now, because he had just started at Pepsi, he didn't really have any vacations. We decided to just go to Atlantic City for like 2-3 nights for a honeymoon. So just like a little getaway, since that's all the time we had. So the next day, you know, we wake up. Of course, everybody's taking their good old time. You know, they start drinking, him and his brother. Like, they're hanging out, still celebrating, like, early in the morning. And I'm really getting fucking annoyed at this point. Eventually, they leave. We pack up to go ahead and hit the road. Of course, I'm driving to Atlantic City. By the time we leave, he's already passed out in the passenger seat the whole way there. When we get to the hotel, he stumbles up to the room, hits the bed, goes right to sleep. I tried numerous times to wake him up. I tried to be sexy, flirty, fun. He was not budging. I sat there, literal tears in my eyes. Like, this is my honeymoon? Like, this is what it is to be a wife? Like, what is this? So anyway, I'm not even a gambler, but I'm like, fuck it. Like, I got dressed. I got, you know, my hair, my makeup done. I go to the casino, bitch. I was at the casino all fucking night winning at that on the roulette. I had, like, people surrounding me. They're like, yeah, it's her wedding night. And in the back of my mind, I just was so hurt and devastated. Like,
it's my wedding night, but where's the groom? It's like, nobody asked, like, where's your husband? Where's the new groom? This is crazy.
Why was I out here by myself? This man didn't even call me. He didn't message me to check on me, nothing. And then by the time I got back and he finally woke up and came out of his drunk ass sleep, he had the nerve to ask me what was for dinner. Like, what? So
he does not care about her. She's literally out on the town by herself on her honeymoon, and he's not even, like, worried at all. Like, he's just sleeping like a baby, waking up to myself, where's the dinner? He's drunk as I don't know what. He's drinking with the brother. Time he wakes up, why are you doing all this drinking? And I watched another video about somebody saying that, like, when people do all that drinking, it's their way of dealing with the fact that they're not living in their truth. So he is bisexual because from what she seems to be saying is before they got married, he must have been putting it down because she says that, I think, or like later in the video or whatever. Either that or it's implied, because now she's like, they're having no sex and they're married. So it's like something has changed all of a sudden, because I think if they weren't having it before, she would have been not happy with him. So I'm assuming they were having it. So he's, to me, says he's bisexual. So if he's drinking a lot, I think he realized, like, I just got married to her and now I'm not going to be able to live my life as a bisexual man, because now she doesn't love me if I'm bisexual. She won't be with me. So I got married to her, and now I'm just having to be like straight guy, but I'm not really just a straight guy. And then he just doesn't seem to care about her. It's really strange. Like, I don't know. I'm going to point out the obvious that people don't want to point out. I have to be really real, because people are telling these stories, but they're like skirting around the truth, and I'm just not that person. I also think that it's pointless to have these conversations and not be fucking genuine about it. And the reality is, like, if your husband doesn't even care where you are, he doesn't like you, he doesn't care about you. Like, it's just all these things. Like, I don't really feel like he married her because he loves her. I feel like he married her because he's using her. Like her dad said, he's going to get what he wants out of you, and then he's going to switch up on you. And we already see it happening. Now that he's got her, they're married, he's not even, like, giving her that love bombing that she claimed he was always doing, which I really feel like it was never that great to begin with. But, yeah.
Now, I'm really kind of looking at myself, and just mind you, this is day one, literally. Like, what did I get myself into? Like, what did I do? When we came back, almost instantly, everything.
And if she's already thinking like that, she literally could have, like, annulled that marriage, because it's like, you literally, like you said, it's day one. You can get out of it. You can get out of it. And the crazy thing is, she didn't even mention the kids. Like, where are they at? Did they go to the wedding? Were they part of the ceremony? She didn't even mention them. She never does.
Change everything. All the affection that he used to pour into me and cover me with was gone completely. The intimacy, gone. And when I say gone, it was to the point where, like, a month would go by and nothing would happen, and I would come to him trying to be, sexy, flirty, cute, so we could be intimate, and he would reject me. He would tell me no. He would make me cry. We would fight over love. Like, it was crazy. I never in my life experienced anything like it. And of course, it was a whole 180 from what it was before we got married, right? Right. So it went from love bombing to coldness and neglect. He'd be very short with me, very cold. And then whenever I would try to talk to him about it, how it was affecting me, he would gaslight me. He would flip it on me like something was wrong with me, and this, that, and the third. Now, the night came that I met his friend, Lou, and everything I suspected was confirmed.
Have y'all heard of lavender marriages?
Girl, it's been confirmed 100 times over, and you're the only one that don't know it. This has been confirmed that he's bisexual the entire story, from almost the beginning of her story, and she's talking about, and it's now being confirmed with Lou. Girl, it was confirmed with Tony. That's where it was confirmed. It was confirmed when he said, "Would you love me if I was bisexual?" It was confirmed a few times before you got, even married. And now you're talking about Lou was the straw that broke the camel's back. Girl, bye. And yes, Mrs. Messy, she is right on my type of time, because all I can think is lavender marriage. I don't really know much about lavender marriages, but I do see people saying women saying they wouldn't mind being in one, because they want a partner who is willing to go to ballet and do things with her that is like something that men would say, like, oh, I'm a man, I just want to watch sports and I'm not interested in that. I definitely think there's probably benefits to it. I had to put in ChatGPT, y'all, and I'll go over that in probably another video, because I definitely think about different alternatives to the typical marriage. I think the typical marriage is dying out. The traditional ideal of marriage is dying out because women have more rights, and that's why they're trying to roll back our rights, because they're trying to get men to have more power again through marriage, like they originally created marriage to do. And women are not really having that, and we just have more options. So it's like, why not entertain different ways that we can go get up in the world and be great and have a great life with our rights that we have now. And I don't know, like, people have entertained lavender marriage, polyamorous relationships. Like, there's a lot of different types of relationships on the horizon that I think is a wonderful time to be alive and to be a woman and to have more choices, because marriage is, from how they were originally created up until women had rights, was like hell for women. Extremely oppressive. Like, ugh, no thanks.
I feel like this is one of those. I don't really feel like he into women, but he married a woman to cover his tracks.
What's a lavender?
It's like when you're dating a gay or a bisexual man, but you're his wife. So it's like y'all like just best friends, but your man is like super like flamboyant.
When she said that
I feel like I could be in a lavender marriage because I don't really care about intimacy. I don't trust straight men, and I would love to share finances with a man, like someone who has a lot of money. And if it's lavender, I'm assuming I could probably have somebody on the side if I wanted, like a boyfriend or whatever, and he could be doing his thing. I don't know. So it's kind of like an open marriage as well. But someone who's like your best friend, who you can do things with. You can go on dates and have fun with because he's like your best friend. Like, I think that would be really cool. Like, you'd have that companionship without the fighting, and the weirdness that goes on with heterosexual couples and relationships. The jealousy, all that weird shit that you're fighting over that, or the fact that y'all have nothing in common because he's masculine, he's a man, and you're a woman, or like the fact that he's trying to put you in a traditional role that you don't want to do, and yeah, I definitely need to look more into it.
Didn't touch her. It made me think about the first woman that tried to warn her. Like he hasn't had intercourse with her in a while, and then now he's coming out as gay. I'm trying to figure out like why did he ever? Oh, bisexual. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out like why was he ever into her then if he wasn't ever into women? But I guess that's what bisexual is.
Not even that. I think it's financial. I think it's more financial for him than the sexuality part. Because why is he suddenly not attracted to her sexually now that they're married? It's like her dad said, he got what he wanted, now he's out. And when she met him, he was living with the woman. And then he fairly quickly, he found her, looked her up again on Facebook, probably knew, because they know who to pick. That's a whole nother video to go over as well. They know who to pick. He found her, and he definitely was looking for someone to like lay up with and like build a life with, who could help him financially, because he uses women for financial reasons. I don't think he's with her at all because he's attracted to her to sleep with her. But I do still think he's bisexual, and you all will see the proof in that later in the video. But yeah, he has a history of like living off women, getting things financially, just having financial motivations behind his relationships that he's having with these women who he's not even particularly sleeping with, or he's living with them, or having them buy him things, give him money, etc. He must have been sleeping with her because she's obviously missing it. So I definitely think he's bisexual. I definitely think he is.
When you're on the DL, like, people just try to cover it up. It's like, why would anyone assume you're DL if you have a girl, let alone a wife?
So see what the big deal is about it in 2025. People still hiding who they choose to be with. I personally don't care. I just mind my business when it comes to things. You don't have to partake, and you don't have to care.
It's a different time today. I don't think then, she said she was, like 30 and 20. I don't even know.
The signs be there, though. If a man don't touch you for that long, he either not into you or he just,
in it for the wrong reason.
Bisexual, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's like, think about it like this. And I can't say that's all the cases, because sometimes men go through depression and they're not sexually active. They might not want to be having intercourse and stuff like that. But I just find it very alarming when we just got married. So that should be like the height of all of y'all emotions. Everything should be still like in this, like, this should be like prime love bombing phase right here, right? So I feel like.
So I don't know if it's just me, but marriage sex is like a turn off for me. So I know when I got married, I didn't feel as sexy and as adventurous anymore. So I don't know if like he's feeling that way. Like I think people react to getting married differently. I think married sex is like, that's something for you and your husband or whatever. Like, I don't want to know anything about what you're doing in your bedroom as a married couple. I don't think it's cute or any more special than people who are doing it who aren't a married couple. I think it's actually kind of boring, and I don't know, I just don't think it's a turn on. I'm like, whatever. And I feel like he got turned off when he got married to her, or he felt like, okay, I don't have to do it anymore. But from what I feel like he just got turned off from it. And I feel like part of that was because she didn't really accept him when he wanted her to know that he was bisexual. Like, up until that point, he basically seemed like he was still like kind of living a bisexual life. And things were good with them sexually. But then, like, once he got married and he realized she's not going to accept me as being a bisexual man, then he realized that's going to be gone. And I think that just made marriage kind of stale to him. And it just was a turnoff. And so now he's just not interested.
Like, they should have had intercourse. It should have been like a thing. I can understand if years went by and, it's just like it gets to that point where it's like, all right, we ain't having sex as much, but.
Because I hear more people saying they didn't have sex on their honeymoons than people saying like, oh, sex was so great after we got married. Like, I feel like that's another myth. I don't hear that much, that sex got better because you got married. I think the most you could say is you're sleeping together, you're having sex the most in the beginning of your marriage than versus like 20 years later. But did it get better from when you were boyfriend and girlfriend? I never really have heard that.
Again, I don't see how like it will slow down unless he just decided that he don't want to be with women no more.
I wonder if that's why he has to drink every time he's with her. It's like you have to literally convince yourself that this is what you want.
It makes me want to dig deeper too. Like, have you ever been to prison? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of dudes who go to prison get turned out in prison and they come out and be having all these addictions. And I'm not saying that's every man with an addiction, but if he's been to prison and he
They're raising a lot of good points.
came back out and he's been drinking like crazy, it could be a reason behind that. It's just like a murderer, you know, like a person who takes people's lives. They can't be sober. You know, they drunk all the time too. They got to live with that guilt, that conscience all the time. And I feel like it's the same. When it's trauma, it's trauma. I'm not saying that's his case, you know, but could be. You know, he's an alcoholic. Could have been taken advantage of at one point.
He met that guy. I feel like that guy that he met in rehab was his boyfriend. 100%. Like, and then when
I feel the same way. And when he got married, like I've heard a lot of married men say that is they just feel like their lives are over. And I felt the same way myself. Like you just feel like you're not going to get to do all the things you did before you got married. Like now you have to follow society's rules of what a marriage should look like because people are going to shame you into oblivion if you don't, or they're going to judge you, or there's going to be consequences. And so I do think that I absolutely think that Tony was his boyfriend, and he basically realized when he get married I had to let him go. That didn't make anybody depressed. And now you got Lou coming into the mix. So let's see what's going on with Lou.
family calls him out on it, he's trying to act like he doesn't realize when it's like obvious.
Yeah, she might want to check the other man that she living with in there too. I don't hear much story about him, but I would be shocked if it came up that them.
Exactly. I'm like, what's going on with this crackhead? We don't really hear much about him. He went on like their first date with them. That wasn't weird. Like she just isn't thinking about these things. Why would a man take a grown man with him on the first date with the woman he's supposed to be into? That's just strange to me.
Who had something going on. I mean, you gotta understand, they both out of their mind in a sense. You know, the other guy more than him in a sense, because I mean, he's an alcoholic. Not saying that's not bad, but a drug addict, I would say, is more out of their mind than an alcoholic for sure. So, I mean, I don't know. That's just my opinion on this. Obviously, I've never been through something like this, so I can't say what I know for sure. But if you ever, I never heard lavender relationship.
And they say like lavender marriage.
Okay. Have you ever heard that term before? Have you ever been in a situation like that before? Let us know in the comment section below.
Continuing, I Married a Monster, part 6. Okay, now, at this point in our marriage, we're about 6 months in. And, you know, the intimacy, again, is long gone. The affection, long gone. What is still there is the constant need for me to do things for him, drive him everywhere, take care of him. Also, the fighting increased significantly. You know, the way he was treating me on...
So remember, she's still driving him around. Like, she's still like his chauffeur. He doesn't have his license yet. She's still doing like a lot of things for him. And she's going to continue to list things. And so think about, just remember what her father was saying about, like, he's marrying you because he basically, like, he needs you. And then he's going to switch up when he doesn't need you anymore. And you're going to see that happen.
Inside of my heart was turning into resentment and rage because I couldn't understand why he was doing this to me. Now, remember, again, I'm an empath. So immediately when I see somebody that...
I'm so embarrassed that she says she's an empath because I'm like, if you're an empath, you should be able to read the room better, and you're an empath, you should know why he's not sleeping with you. You should know that he's bisexual. You should be reading shit a lot better than you're reading it. You're talking about God and The Secret and manifesting and all this stuff, and then you can't even read the room, like why this guy is suddenly not sleeping with you anymore and why these random men are around. And you know, it's just men, I don't know, men who have these friends, like, I don't know. But a lot of men would just be having friends like that anyway. Like, a lot of husbands just rely on their wives to kind of maintain the whole social stuff. So they have, like, these couples, friends that their wives probably are friends with the wife and the other wife, and they have couples get-togethers, whatever. I'm not used to men, like, having, like, all these friends that they're having as grown men, especially when you're about to get married. He just has too many men around, or even after he got married. But what's sticking out to me is, like, I wanted to point that out. It's like, it's not even just a money aspect, but she's just, like, literally physically having to do things for him like he's a child because he doesn't have his license still, and he's just, like, really dependent on her. And that's, to me, another reason why he married her.
I love or care about has an issue like drinking. I'm going to do my best to try to help them, save them. I feel like that's my job, right? So a lot of the fighting stemmed from me trying to save him from himself, right? On top of that, I excused all of the bad behavior to the drinking. It was just something that I had never experienced before. I have never, dealt with firsthand, and definitely underestimated. But I constantly gave him a pass because I felt like if he wasn't drunk, if he was sober, if he was in his right state of mind, he wouldn't be doing all of this. Okay. Now,
when we first met, you know, when
So I'm confused because I'm like, did he just come out of rehab? Like, he came out of rehab and he's clearly lapsed. Like, does he need to go back to rehab? Like, that's something, like, why aren't we talking about this? Why are we just talking about his drinking? Like, that's okay. And he's being an alcoholic guy. And you had 2 DUIs. Went to rehab. I don't know if it was once or twice, but it's like, it's time for you to go back. Like, obviously something's not right. Something's not working here. And all this drinking ain't it.
first got with my husband, I was what you call slim thick. You know, I had a little body on me, little shape, and he would constantly tell me, you know, how he loved the thick parts about me and wouldn't mind basically if I gained some extra pounds. Pretty much put out there he liked bigger women, which I'm like, okay, you know, big girls need love too, cool. But I didn't realize at the time, you know, that he was literally trying to bulk me up. And then once we did get to this part where I was constantly feeling, you know, neglect and the emotional abuse of being rejected by the man who was supposed to love and protect me and provide that security for me, it led me to, you know, being up at 2, 3 in the morning, eating a whole pie to myself, bitch, like literally binge eating to try to get away from the emotion.
Now, I thought she was going to say she actually, because some women actually lose weight and stop eating. They lose their appetite. I'm one of those women. But we actually lose our appetite when we aren't doing well mentally, with depression, anxiety, whatever you're going through. If you're having just a grieving, having bad time in life, you're just going to like stop eating. You're going to lose your appetite. I thought she was going to say that, but she actually said she gained weight, y'all. And this man, you just had to hear this. I just want to point this out. Like, she gained weight. He said he basically implied he likes thicker women, like bigger women. She's becoming a bigger woman. Is that going to improve their sex life and the intimacy? Is he going to suddenly have this new attraction for her again? And then you had to think about, like, was she smaller then and he dealt with her, but she was not his type even then. So what was that about? Was that part of the love bombing? Was that part of the manipulation to get her to fall for him? Because time they got married, it stopped. It's like all these questions.
Shit that I was carrying at the time. So I quickly started to put on weight, okay? Now in my mind, I'm thinking it's okay because the man that loves me loves big women, right? But then, like I said, I'm now becoming unhappy with myself. I now feel like I'm letting myself go. I'm letting myself down. Boom. Constantly coming to him trying to figure out what's going on. What can I do to make this situation better as far as us having an intimate relationship? Because like I would tell him, everybody goes through shit. You know, when you're in a relationship, couples fight. Couples argue. Shit happens. Every single person on earth. Nobody's shit is squeaky.
I would be asking, as an empath, because I actually can read the room, I'd be asking him, why is he having sex with me? Is it because he's bisexual? Is he not attracted to me? I wouldn't be asking, like, how can I make it better? I just want to know, why isn't it even good at all? Like, why is it falling off the rails? Why aren't we having sex anymore? Were you using me? Do you feel like now that you got me, you don't have to work at it anymore? Like, those are the questions I'd be asking. Because how are you trying to improve something that isn't there? Like, it's literally just nothing there. And then you have all these other elements that are, you know, seem to be geared more towards him possibly being bisexual. So a lot of people don't even have that part of it, and she clearly does, and she doesn't even like address that. She's just like, how can I make it better? Maybe bringing a room into the room with the two of you. like it's just her lack of awareness is insane to me, and the fact that she keeps trying to call herself an empath to excuse the coddling that she's doing of her husband is just like unacceptable. I'm like, no, you're not going to use that as a crutch. You're not using that as an excuse for your bad behavior, because there's clearly it has nothing to do with being an empath. Because if you were an empath, you'd be able to read him better and read the situation and all the tea leaves. You'd be able to put everything together and figure out, like, this is why he's not sleeping with me. And that's what you should be saying to him, instead of like lying to yourself, lying to him, having these weird conversations that really are not going to accomplish anything because you're not focusing on the real issues here. So what is there to improve? Improve what? His bisexuality? Like, unless you're about to bring another man into your bedroom and y'all have a 3-way, or you let him step out sometimes, it's not going to just improve with you, who's not even seeming to be his type, because he said he wants thicker women. It's just so much wrong going on here that she just refuses to pay attention to.
Clean, but the love is usually there. You break up to make up type shit. So that's usually the other side of it. And with that missing, it was just constant rage and chaos. So I started getting real suspicious. Now at this time, again, he was working at Pepsi. He was actually making good money.
everything was kind of changing in our lives that way. He was taking care of all of us. So life was changing for the better on that front. He was home every night. It almost turned to the point where I wasn't his wife. I was like his mom. So, I'm constantly having to make sure he's good, take care of his every need, pack his lunch for work, make sure he eats, drive him where he needs to go. Because remember, he still had no license. We're taking him back and forth to work. If he's drunk and acting like a fool and trying to do some stupid shit, I'm like, ho, 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 ho. So I was always on like 1,000 because I felt like I had to be. I felt like if I wasn't on his top, this motherfucker would spiral out of control and some crazy shit would happen. The phones were in my name, so I'd see what was going on. I could see messages, phone calls. Like, I was on him because now I'm to this height of like, he's got to be cheating on me. Like, something has to be going on. Even though he was home in my bed every night, we had no type of intimacy. There was no type of passion. So now I'm starting to like really investigate. I'm staying on top of who he's talking to. One day it finally hit me. I said, well, let me look in the internet history because I'm just looking at, messages and phone calls. I look in his internet history and what I found was unreal. And there's so many times I see this topic brought up on, especially like, are we dating the same guy pages? Like, people don't realize how deep addiction goes. Now, when I tell you this man was neglecting me, rejecting me, and literally watching every day. And it wasn't just like he was watching it like a TV show, bitch. And he wasn't just watching any, he had a fetish with obese women. I mean, 400, 500 pounds. So like, how do you get off on that type of thing? But you have a beautiful woman next to you that loves you and is loyal to you that you're avoiding and whatever. I didn't say shit. I just sat back and watched how long it would go.
So pay attention to that. He's having, I guess you said it's like a porn addiction, but he's watching all this porn. Women are not, these women that he's getting off on are not, they don't look anything like her. I was actually surprised that the porn was not of men. Because I was thinking like maybe that's how he is getting his fix, because now that he's married, he can't like step out and be with Tony or whoever. But apparently she just is not his type. And I also think it's interesting because she kind of seems like she might have more leaning towards the masculine mannerisms. Like her behavior, her voice is a little bit deep. The way she talks is kind of rough around the edges. And I'm like, maybe that's what attracted him to her, because she's more leaning towards a masculine energy than feminine energy. And so it's just, the whole thing is really strange to me. It's just like he's just with her just to use her. He literally does not seem to have any kind of real attraction to her. Like, she always talked about how she was attracted to him and that he's love bombing. So she clearly knew the way he felt about her was not the same as how she felt about him, because she just called it love bombing, which is like manipulation. It's a complete joke. Just lavishing shit on people to like get them to fall for you. But it's nothing real about it. And then this comes out now. It's like every time she digs through his stuff, she continues to see that this man is not attracted to you as who you are. Like, whether it's your height, your weight, your gender, you're not who he's sexually attracted to. And I used to try to be naive and pretend that sexual attraction and all that didn't matter, but it does. Like, if you are dating someone, like let's be honest, most people have a type. And when you're dating people, if you looked in your partner's past, like, all the people they dated before you should look like you. Like, they should look like you. If you go in his Facebook or his emails or whatever you're doing, you want to snoop through his computer or his phone, the women that he has on his pages that he's like lusting after should look like you. Like, my ex, all the women look like me. All of them. Petite, thick, dark-skinned, like, they look like me. They all basically look like me. It's like he's dated the same girl over. And that's how a lot of people are. I always dated men who are 6 feet taller and dark skinned. That was just my type of guy. So like most my kids' fathers, they all have different fathers, and all the men look the same. They're all tall, dark skinned black men. So the fact that she is looking at him doing it, it's just like, the women he's lusting after while y'all are married, he's not even touching you, but he's actively. So it's not like he's just not feeling sexual at all, because he clearly is horny, but he's not doing anything with you. And it tells me he's not attracted to her. And he probably just sees her as like his mommy. And how can you feel attracted to your mommy like that? Like sexually attracted to your mother. It's gross. But yeah, he's just using her. He's using her, because even when she gained weight, he's still not touching her. And it's just something about her even if she gained weight versus the other women. And she's saying they're like 400, 500 pounds. I don't even think those women are that big. I think they're just bigger than her. And she's like kind of putting a dig on them. But even if they are bigger, whatever it is, it's like you're not that woman. You're not his type. That's what I'm getting here. You're not his type. You're not the man that he's attracted to. You're not the obese woman that he's attracted to. You're not his type. And he married you. And some women feel special because they got chosen. But I keep hearing time and time again in these circles as I've been doing this research, especially recently, pertaining to like the gay LGBTQ community, is that these men, they know which women to pick because they know who's going to basically put up with it or look the other way. Like, these women are so desperate and so male identified and so marriage identified that they're going to look the other way so they can maintain this marriage that they have. And these men know how to pick these women. They know the desperate pick-me type women that's going to totally allow this. Because any woman that has any kind of self-esteem would have been gone a long time ago. I'm sorry, but it's true. And you can't use those women. And maybe he's not ready to, like, if he's sitting here telling his family he doesn't feel like Tony is gay, maybe he's not ready to come out to his family yet that he's bisexual. You know, so he wouldn't be living with the man. I mean, even though he is living with the crackhead. And I don't know what that guy's deal is. He's still there. Maybe that was his lover as well. It's a lot. So it's like, wow, she's working a lot. I don't know if he's really working like that. She said he had like some temp jobs or whatever. Is he home with crackhead guy doing some things when she's at work? There's so many questions, and it's like she leaves out so much. Like, she doesn't even mention the crackhead guy, so we don't even know where he is now that they're married. Does he still live there? Or did they go back to living with him still? And where are the children? We don't know.
When again I would come to him, and then boom, the next day I go look at the history, bam, he was right back at the shit again, and I'm like, yeah, no. Finally I say something. Again, the gaslighting. Why are you in my phone? Why are you looking at my shit? You don't trust me. Oh, this, that, and the third. He had told me, eventually, after some time, that one of the reasons why he fell back from our love life, because remember, in the beginning, this shit was fire, that because I put on weight. Mind you, he literally told me to put on weight. Like, so now he's...
I'm telling you, he is just... does not like her. He doesn't like her. Like, now, you're saying now you... Like, it's like when people don't like you, they just come up with anything. You can do nothing right. One minute he wanted her to fatten up. Now she gets fattened up and he says, I don't like the way it looks. Like, what? you gonna find something wrong with me. That's what you're gonna do. Because you don't like me. You don't like me. He does not like her at all. And you'll see further with what she's about to say right now.
Shaming me. Now I'm feeling so down about our love life. Because remember, in the beginning, this shit was fire. That because I put on weight. Mind you, he literally told me to put on weight. Like, so now he's body shaming me. Now I'm feeling so down about myself that I'm like, I don't even look in the mirror and recognize myself anymore. And it just completely escalated from there.
So now she's like, he's body shaming her. Like, that is very cruel and is such a narcissistic thing to do. They're such assholes. And that tells me he hates this woman because narcissists can't love anyone more than themselves anyway, but the fact that he's trying to really hurt her and hit her where it hurts, I mean, he really hates her.
Now, the other thing I noticed about him that I always thought was weird is this guy loved to talk on the phone. And when I say talk on the phone, I mean he would be on the phone for hours. People weren't calling him. He was always calling people. 99% of the time, it was men. 90% of the time, he'd have it on speakerphone, and I'd just be in the background doing shit, cooking, cleaning, whatever. 30 years on earth, I've never met a man who actually enjoys talking on the phone. He would get on the phone with a friend, Lou. This guy would sound drunk, he's drunk, and they just go on and on. Be on the phone for hours. People weren't calling him. He was always calling people. 99% of the time, it was men. 90% of the time, he'd have it on speakerphone. Be on the phone for hours. People weren't calling him. He was always calling people. 99% of the time, it was men. 90% of the time, he'd have it on speakerphone, and I'd just be in the...
Okay, do you hear that? He's calling men 99% of the time. And who knows men who talk on the phone that much, let alone to other men. Like, I know men who the only time they talk on the phone that much is because they're talking to a girl. If they're going to talk on the phone a lot at all. Like, most guys are not talking on the phone all day. They're not doing all their talking. And then if they are, it's going to be with a woman. They're not talking to another grown-ass man for hours and hours at a time. That is crazy.
Background, doing shit, cooking, cleaning, whatever. 30 years on earth, I've never met a man who actually enjoys talking on the phone. He would get on the phone with a friend, Lou. This guy would sound drunk, he's drunk, and they just go on and on and on. And 90% of the time, they talk about the same shit. Every fucking, like, how you talk to the same, whatever. So now, again, these flags are just fucking waving in my face. But like I said, in my heart, I already knew what it was, and I'm avoiding this shit because I really believe that he was in love with me, just didn't know how to love me. And I'm just like, who the fuck talks to other men like that on the phone all night? When they would hang up, he'd be like, all right, love you, bro, love you. Yeah, love you, bro. Like, do you have to tell this man you love him every time you talk to him? So one night he finally says, like, Lou wants to meet you. He wants to come out here. Can we go get him? Now, Lou lived in, like, Philly. Again, we're in the suburbs, about 30, 40 minutes from there. I'm like, don't really feel like chilling with you and Lou. I said, well, let me make some calls. Let's put something together. I'm like, maybe we can have a card night. So I put together a little card night at the crib.
She doesn't feel like hanging out with him and Lou, but she's putting a card night together. What the fuck? What the fuck? What is going on? It's like she does too much. It's like you don't feel like hanging out with them, but you quickly you doing the most. Like, let him put something together. It's his friend that you don't even want to be around, that you know he really sleeping with. It's too much for me.
So I said, I'll go get him, but he has to stay the night. I'm not taking him back in the middle of the night. Like, I'm going to have a good time tonight. Okay.
I don't think you want him to stay the night. Okay? I don't think you want Lulu to stay the night when your husband is already not sleeping with you. Oh, it's like she's just walking into a brick wall. It's insane to watch it here. Like, it just gets from bad to worse. I don't want Lou around, but I'm going to put together a car night and do all the work to prepare for Lou to come here, even though I don't want him here. And then I'm going to make him he has to spend the night. I'm going to pick him up because my husband doesn't drive because he's a loser. And now Lou has to spend the night because I don't want to take him back, which is great because now Lou gets to be in the house with my husband who doesn't want to touch me with the 10-foot pole. Girl, I can't. I cannot.
Cool. Lou agreed with those terms. We go to pick up Lou.
Of course Lou agreed with the terms because he cannot get to your husband fast enough. Next.
We make it back to home. I stop by a friend's house. So when we get out the car and we're walking up to my girlfriend's porch, you know, we had several conversations, you know, on speakerphone before meeting in person. And of course, the whole ride, we talked, whatever. Now he's leaning on me like he fucking knows me, because you don't. And he's like, damn, B, like, you in the way. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, and now that you around, me and B can't give each other no more.
One thing God gonna do is show you the truth, okay? He gonna keep taking stuff away from you. He gonna keep ruining your life until you learn to read the signs and get yourself up out of there. I don't know how many more ways God can tell her that her husband is not into her. Like, he wants Lou. He wants Lou. Lou literally just told her to her face that now that you're in the way and now that you're around, I cannot get head from your husband anymore. We can't give each other head anymore. And watch how she handles it. You're not going to be surprised how she handles it at all, because she's going to handle it like she didn't always handle it.
I don't even know what to say after that. I don't even know what to fucking say. So I have to take his arm from around me. I'm like, what did you just say? He's like, nah.
Like, this shit is so crazy. I low-key be like, is this a real story? Like, that's how much shock I'm in. Like, are you literally dealing with this in a marriage? Like, you're really doing this? I can't believe that there's any women out here who tolerate this, who do this. I'm just in shock. And I'm like, are these the same women who are always saying that women have to get married first before we have kids? Because what if you love kids, you just want to have kids? Why do I need to get married to a lavender marriage guy? Like, I just, what if I just want the baby? What if I just want the kids? I don't want him. These men have problems. And is this what these women are dealing with behind closed doors? Because people get married and they just fall off the face of the fucking earth. They shut down that steel door and they treat it like Fort Knox. And it's like, why all the secrecy? And they can say all they want to, like, oh, well, people will be breaking up your marriage. If the shit is good and it's strong, can't nobody break it up. You got these fragile ass, dusty ass marriages. That's why you're hiding them. Like hers. Her marriage is dusty as hell. His friend just said that to her. That's wild. That's fucking wild to me.
I'm fucking with you. I'm like, so I leave his ass quick. Billy Bob was up ahead. I catch up here. I'm like, yo. I'm like, your boy just told me that y'all can't give each other because I'm in the way. Like, what's up? He's like, what? He's like, man, he just playing with you. You know, this nigga's drunk. And I'm like, now again, you're a grown man. This is your friend. Your friend tells your wife that he can't give you, and you're not mad? You're not immediately questioning this guy? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, that's not even no shit you joke about. Either or, the night proceeds to move on. In the back of my mind now, I'm just like, this is crazy.
How does a night move on from that? How does that happen? I'm like, nah, you gotta go home. She already didn't want Lou around to begin with, because she already know who Lou is. She knows he's her husband's lover. She know they got a history. She already know they got a sexual history. She know. She ain't stupid. She playing stupid. She's not stupid. You already didn't want Lou around, and now you keep him around even after he says this to you, to your face. So he does not respect you or your marriage or your relationship with your husband. He don't give a fuck about none of it. He's trying to blow. He did anything. He's trying to break y'all up so he can go back to having sexual relations with your husband. And she's just like, oh, the night proceeds on. It just goes on. The way I'd have been like, Lou better get an Uber and take his ass back home. He got to go. And we got to deal with this. Like, we going home. We got to talk about this. Like, she just goes on. It's business as usual. I don't understand that. And that's why these women be having these crazy ass lives and marriage. It's insane.
I am fucking crazy. What am I doing? Like, why? The night was already planned. I had people coming over. We go back to the crib. What happened after?
I would have canceled all that shit. National fucking emergency. Fucking plans are off. Everyone go home. Everyone stay home. Don't even bother coming over. It's canceled. The shit we had planned is canceled. Okay? Okay? Shit is over. We gotta talk. I don't care what was planned. It's a car night. This is your marriage. How do you even want to look at other people when you hear something like that? How do you get through the night? Are you drinking with your husband? Y'all both drunk now? Child, this is a mess.
That was fucking insane. Like, I need a minute to collect my thoughts because just going back to this shit, hearing this shit out loud, feeling the emotions of what it brought, it's fucking crazy, man.
Well, that pretty much answers that question. I mean, we was already spectating that was probably his boyfriend.
Speechless. Speechless.
It's things that he probably into that he can't tell her, so he just, instead of brushes her off. But if all he had to do was tell her that, go grab the strap and peg him. I mean, but it's obvious. Okay, can we be mature for a second? Okay, like, we grown, all right? This man is gay, all right? He's into men, he's into women, so how could you please him just being one side of that?
He's not gay, he is bisexual, okay? Like, he can't be into men and women and be gay. He's bisexual. And I just think he's just not into her. I think he's not attracted to her at all. I think that the stuff she called quote-unquote fire was part of his love bombing. The guys literally just use that. Men are not falling in love just because they're having sex with you. They definitely can compartmentalize and separate the two. Women are the ones that get attached through sex and think it's more than what it is. I don't think he was even ever attracted to her like that. I think he was attracted to the idea of what he was about to get from her as far as like financially and physically, whatever, like her driving him around, whatever. But I think he did what he had to do. Nobody's more hypergamous than men. No one is more hypergamous, okay, than men, okay? And I just keep hearing that over and over, so that's going to be another video.
She got to get into the...
All I'm going to say is he tried to tell her before they got married. It was his guilty conscience telling him, like, I need to tell this woman. I need to tell her. I got to get this off my chest, and he tried to. And he tried to play it off when you wasn't really feeling it, but you knew deep down in your heart what it was. I think a lot of us can just tell, like, come on now, your antennas start going, you can tell when somebody is into other things.
Okay, so continuing, I Married a Monster, part 7. Now, first I just want to start off with a little bit of disclaimer, backstory, catch some folks up, because I've seen a lot of the comments. I know I have been married for 10 years this October. I have been separated for the past year and headed towards a divorce as we speak.
Married for 10 fucking years? I am in shock again. Like, I'm tired of being in shock. Really thought I seen it all. Okay? Like, 10 years of this? I'm still sitting there thinking they're in their, like, first year. Like, they have to be. They just got married. How did you find out all this in, like, within the first few months of, like, knowing this man? And you stayed for 10 years? Doing what? Ugh, gross.
I met my husband. I was in the middle of leaving a toxic, physically abusive relationship, but I had manifested that I would be a wife one day. I wanted to be married. I wanted one man to love on the rest of my life. And what I didn't realize while I was sending out these manifestations into the world, I was still unhealed. I had trauma that I had been carrying my whole life. And because of that, I was putting this frequency out and attracting back what I was carrying, what I was putting out. So that was my first mistake.
Which was desperation.
So the truth is, I didn't just fall in love with my husband. I fell in love with the mask he presented. But because I was unhealed and I had this addiction to trauma bonds, I thought that this was what love was supposed to feel like. I thought this was normal. I thought it was my person, and this was just a test to prove my loyalty and make it through to the end till we got to the better side. So I'm sharing my story, my truth, with anybody who's in this situation, anybody that can relate, anybody who's been going through any little part of all of the shit I've encountered being married to a narcissist. And so we continue with part 7. Now, if you watch part 6, I met the friend Lou. And what he told me was basically I was in the way because him and Billy Bob couldn't give each other anymore. So with that revelation, I'm now again in complete denial, in complete shock, and more rage just building up because why can't you just be honest, right? Moving along.
He was being honest with her, and she made it clear she was not going to accept him if he was bisexual, so then he just went back into his closet.
We get to that night at the house. So as planned, I had people over, everybody was hanging out, playing cards, good time. And, I was really annoyed with the whole situation. So there was a lot of friction and tension already in the air. But when things died down and everybody cleared out, I made sure I got Lou set up on the couch, blankets, covers, the whole 9, made sure he was good. Billy Bob at this point is,
She read it to me because fuck Lou. I'm sorry, fuck Lou. You not coming in my face, I'm a whole newlywed, and you talking about I'm in the way because now I'm my husband, you can't give each other head. Absolutely not, Lou. You're going to be on your way back home in an Uber or however else your grown ass going to get home. It's not going to be because of me. And you're going to get up out my face.
Beyond wasted. So he's back in the room. He passes out. I proceed to follow him about 5 minutes later after getting Lou set up. When I left Lou, he seemed like everything was okay. He seemed like everything was cool. I go back into our room, get in the bed, close the door, lights out. 2 minutes later, my door gets busted down. This guy is at the door, foaming from the mouth. He's banging on his chest like this, like a fucking ape. He's screaming all this gibberish shit. Blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't even know what he was saying. Billy Bob is passed the fuck out. I'm hitting his ass. I'm like, yo, because I jump up. Now I get out the bed like I'm about to rumble this dude. I look to find something to pick up because, like I said, at this point, I feel like I'm about to get fucking attacked. At the same time, this fucking useless ass dude is laying up in my bed, passed out.
So you see how she's basically acting like the man in the relationship, like she's literally about to defend her man, and she's acting like a dude. Like she's like, I'm getting up, I'm about to rumble with a grown man. Because I know for me as a woman, I'm like, I'm about to call the police. You get the fuck out my house with whatever crazy shit you doing. He shouldn't have never been here to begin with. But I'm calling the cops. Get the fuck out or I'm calling the police. I'm not about to rumble with nothing.
Still, never budges. So now I'm screaming. I'm screaming for him to wake up. I'm hitting him to get up. I'm telling him, like, yo, get your man about to kill your boy, yo. Somebody's about to get hurt. Like, the shit is about to go down. He gets out of his sleep. He's like, what's going on? What's going on? Lou, he pacing back and forth now down the hallway. He just still on his rowdy shit, the phone. Yo, I honestly, I don't know how it didn't escalate past that point. Because I really, really, really feared, like, for my life in that moment. And I was really ready to stand 10 toes down and do whatever I had to do. Like, because I wasn't going to be me type shit. I don't know what kind of shit is going on. I'm telling him, your boy got to get out. I put him out. He finally gets up. It was this whole ordeal. And You know, the crazy thing is of course this didn't die down for like days, right? And me and him would keep fighting about it because he never showed any type of like concern. I mean, he did agree. He was like, I don't know what that. I never seen him act like that. Like, that's crazy. But like, if one of my peoples acted like that, you know what I mean? Especially treated my husband or somebody I love like that, like, I would have had to beat their ass. Like, simple as that. Like, we would have been scrapping because like.
So she's basically like the man in the relationship. She's ready to physically whoop ass to help protect her husband, her little husband, and he's acting like a woman. He's just like, wow, it's crazy. Like, I can't believe he acted like that. Like, he's just chilling. He's in his soft guy era, and he's unbothered. Like, he's not about to scrap with nobody. He's not even saying like, okay, I gotta talk to him, or he's not ready to fight him. He's not. I'm gonna cut Lou off. I can't believe he did this shit. Disrespect my house, my wife, yada yada yada. Like, he's just, don't care. Whatever. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. Like, he's got to perform. He's doing performative concern. Like, I can't believe he would do that. Oh my goodness. And it's like he can't be bothered to put any real emotion into it. Like, I'm just I'm bored watching this. Like, I'm feeling the lack of concern that he has for her. And she's acting like the man in the relationship. They've switched roles. She's the protector and the provider, and he's the little old, woman in the kitchen, baking bread. Like, it's insane.
Why are you over here fucking drawing in my house? But, of course, Billy Bob doesn't really seem to show no real concern about the shit. So yet again, I'm put in this position where I have to be the bitch, right? I gotta be the one that looks like something's wrong with me, because now I'm like, you got issues, your friends got issues, the people you fuck with got issues, like, all y'all are on the same shit. That's why you gravitate towards these people. You know what I mean? You all want some funny ass drunk shit. And honestly, I think because it was just so much emotion with what happened, like, it did not.
And she keeps bringing up the drunk part as another crutch, another excuse. Like, when she keeps bringing her being an empath to justify the fact that her husband is bisexual, and he's showing lots of bisexual tendencies. It's not because he's drunk. People don't get drunk and become bisexual. Like, people get drunk, they get mad, they want to fight. People get drunk, they start telling some truth, or they get really philosophical. People get drunk, they get happy, they're dancing around a lot more than usual. The inhibitions are gone. When people get drunk, my mother told me, she's an alcoholic. Like, she knows. I wouldn't say she's a full alcoholic, but she kind of is, like a functioning alcoholic. But she told me, when people get drunk, the truth comes out. True words have never been spoken. I think she was drinking when she said that, but yeah.
It hit me that man must have had all that rage because he must have been jealous. Like, when he seen us go to bed together, he must have really got fucking jealous. Like, that is hitting me what he had said earlier. Now it's all making sense. I'm like, yo, because on some real shit, if you're watching this story, you already know I was.
This is what she gets for being dense. Playing dumb is gonna get you killed, honey. Like I said this before I even thought about this part. Like, realized she had kicked him out, whatever. But he wouldn't have been in my house from jump. Her first gut instinct was that she didn't want Lou around. They're like newlyweds. Like, why is Lou coming over? Why does her husband want Lou to come over? Why is her husband on the phone with Lou? We're not even having sex. We ain't got time to be dealing with no Lou. And then for her to be, him saying that to her, like, Lou felt very comfortable disrespecting her and telling her. Like, that's like, okay, like, people may get confused because they think, okay, Lou's a man. What if that was a woman that said that to her? Like, girl, like, you're in the way. Like, because you're around now, we can't fuck anymore. Like, we can't do our thing. Like, we get down like we were doing before he married you. Or what, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Would you still have her in your home? Would you still be continuing the night as usual, having your card game, people coming over, kikiing, laughing, drinking, having a good old time? Would you still be giving her a blanket and some pillows and letting her set up for the night in your home and on your sofa, 100 feet from your husband who used to bang her out? Like, no. And this is what I mean. Like, people are so weird when it comes to, like, the LGBTQ situation. Like, they just don't understand it. This dude was absolutely jealous that her husband was now laying up in that bed with her. He wasn't playing. Like, when people show you who they are, believe them. Like, he wasn't playing when he said, you're in the way, now we can't give each other head anymore because you're here. He wasn't playing about that. And she just let it roll off her shoulders, and this is how people get killed. Because they don't read the signs, they don't They don't heed the warnings. They don't listen to their gut. All those things.
Completely in denial. And it's not even like I was in denial, but it's like when you know something and you drive yourself crazy because you keep trying to get the truth. You keep trying to figure it out. You keep trying to, you know what I mean, put the pieces together and the shit ain't adding up and nothing makes sense. But you know in your heart what it is.
She knows what the truth is. She doesn't want to believe the truth. She's going around in circles and back again because of herself. Like, girl, you know what the truth is. Your husband's bisexual. You know, like, I've never seen any more of a glaring sign to tell you that than this story. Like, it's just so obvious. And it just is. Like, how are you sitting here, like, driving yourself crazy trying to figure stuff out? And it's like, no, you're trying to drive yourself crazy trying to find another reason to fixate on instead of the reality of what it is. Because you don't want him to be bisexual. I don't think you could live with it if he was, I guess. I don't know how she went another 9 years after all this shit happened.
But like your eyes are so like it is just I can't even explain how I got manipulated to be that much in denial, or if it was just the fact that, like I said, because I didn't know for sure, I kept making excuses. I kept giving a pass. You know, after that night, I didn't hear.
She didn't want to know for sure. Lou told her in her face. Tony told her when he called 100 times in the morning. And then he came to the house for Thanksgiving. Like, her husband told her when he said, would you love me if I was bisexual? You didn't want to know the truth. You didn't want to face the truth. You were living in la la land. Lying to yourself. That shit is dangerous. You're literally basically sleeping with the enemy. You're sleeping with someone who don't even like you. Because you're just so pressed to say you got a husband. Because he's not a catch. It's not like he's paying all the bills. What is he bringing to the table that's so wonderful that you're putting up with all this? The only thing that you're benefiting greatly from is the fact that you get to say you're a husband, you have a husband, you're married. And so to continue to maintain that lie, that facade of marital happiness, you have to keep lying to yourself. So even though the truth is right there in your face, she's doing everything under the sun to, like, act like she's confused and don't know what's wrong with the marriage and what's going wrong. You know what it is. You just don't want to face it. And frankly, it's exhausting watching her spiral and act weird instead of just saying, like, I found out he's gay and I was out. That should have been in the story. It's like, we got to go another hour of her being confused. It's just ridiculous.
Lou for a long fucking time, you know what I mean? And I think months went by, and if he even tried to mention his name, I'd be like, you're joking. Don't bring up his name. Don't talk about that man. I don't even know how you can even be friends with somebody like that after that shit. How do you not immediately cut somebody the fuck off after all that? But nonetheless, he didn't. And after months went by, you know, he finally came to me on speaker.
Wow, he didn't even cut Lou off for her. Lou threatened her life. On the first meeting of Lou, he's telling you you're in the way. Now I can't smash your husband anymore. Like, I can't do things with your husband anymore. And then you let him into your home, made him comfortable, because why didn't he get the blankets and pillows? Her husband, like, that's your friend. But she made him comfortable. She came up with a whole card night or whatever, like, for Lou, who wanted to come up. Child, bye. Her husband would have been coming up with that shit. And Lou wouldn't even been coming over to my house. But anyways, because I just have a bad feeling about Lou. And if she's an empath, she would have had a bad feeling too. And I would say she's like, if you can be, you know, she's an empath. I said we're not a monolith. Like, she would be like an unaware, unempowered empath. Like, she has the powers, but she don't know what to do with them. But she, you know, she just ain't reading the room. She's not reading the room. And on top of all that happened, your husband's still friends with Lou? The fuck? Like, child. Okay. I can't, because I had a situation like this with my ex-husband, his friend. I couldn't fucking stand him. And he acted like he was going to fight me one day. And I think I was pregnant on top of that. I had to let my husband know, like, he got to go. That was like his only friend. I did not care. He got to go. He was gone. He was gone. Okay? They just stopped. Even after we got divorced, they never went back to being friends. I don't play that shit.
Phone, you know, oh, it's Lou, like, he really wants to apologize, this, that, and the third. And you know what I mean? I'm not the type that's going, like, never forgive nobody. Honestly, he don't mean shit to me. So like, I've been moved on type. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna carry that shit around because I've been through worse days and worse shit. And to be honest with you, it wasn't even, the friend wasn't my concern. It was Billy Bob and how he handled the shit and his reactions and how he just chose to move on from it like it wasn't nothing. That had me sitting there feeling fucked up and crazy. So at the end of the day, that was definitely the confirmation from meeting Lou that night of everything that I knew, but didn't really know, if that makes sense. So at this point, you know, everything else is still on the rocks. I'm still trying to fight to save him, save our marriage, make things better, figure out why we took this detour. And I'll just say this, you know, the parts coming up in this haunted house of a marriage is fucking scary. Like, the shit that he did, and now to this day, if somebody asks him about us, he tries to say, I'm unstable. He tries to say, it's my fault. He was an addict, that he couldn't stop drinking. I was his trigger. After all of this shit that I've just told y'all, he's saying it was because of me. And that was the last straw. That was the last straw. Anybody who's been through the shit that I've been through with this man, granted, if I chose to go through it or not, it can fucking break you down. It can break you. I see why people wind up on Snapped. Like, I could never understand why somebody could do, like, I can see why somebody would end up on that shit. Because people play too much with people's emotions and feelings and heart, and that shit ain't cool, man. But I got something coming for y'all for part 8. We're going to skip a beat into about our 3-year anniversary when shit really hit the fan. You know, I like to call it the hotel of hell.
Like, they literally have not even been married 3 years yet, and all this stuff happened. And she somehow managed to be married to him for another 7 years. Or 8, 9 years. Child. I'd be like, why am I so different? I do not understand, because I'd be gone. I would be gone. Now, this part is really crazy.
Stay tuned, babe. Who literally was using me as a scapegoat to cover up his lie. And on Halloween night, shit got really spooky. And it's the night that he disappeared. Stay tuned, babe. It's catching up here. My husband was a bisexual, undercover. He was also an alcoholic, a narcissist, who literally was using me as a scapegoat to cover up his lie. And on Halloween night...
I'm so happy to hear her finally say he's bisexual, because I'm like, you're now gaslighting us. I'm starting to feel like I'm going crazy, because the guy is bisexual, and you just refuse to realize that. And that's insane to me. Like, that's insane. Like, this is the first time. We're in almost an hour, over an hour of listening to her, and she finally has admitted her husband's bisexual. But this is year 3. She knows he's bisexual, and she still stayed with him another 7 years. So that's, I don't know how that happened.
Shit got really spooky. And it's the night that he disappeared, and I had to track his phone down to a fucking hotel. So Billy Bob, also not his real name, by the way, really set the tone on this one. Now, if you remember from the beginning, he did not have a license the first few years we were married due to 2 DUIs. I literally had to, just like my dad had warned, when he got what he wanted, he would switch up on me. So at this point, he had his license for about a month. We had to go through a lot of shit to get it. He had to go to drug and alcohol classes. He had to take the test again. We had to pay a lot of fucking fines. But nonetheless, he got his license back. Now, at this point in our marriage, we had gone through a lot of shit, as you remember, but he never, ever, ever, ever had done anything to, like, step out of our marriage. Meaning, you know, he never would be out. You know, I didn't know where he was. He never, like, cheated physically, anything to my knowledge, because we literally were always together, probably because I was always fucking taking care of him. Here we go at our 3-year anniversary. So it just so happens to be Halloween night. He winds up getting, like, a gallon of fucking vodka, winds up getting drunk by the time I get home. The next day, he wakes up, he proceeds to finish...
She said their 3-year anniversary happens to be on Halloween night. Halloween night is October 31st every year. So they basically got married on Halloween. No wonder she said I married a monster. You cannot make this shit up.
Drinking his gallon of vodka. So literally in 24 hours, this man, 120 pounds, had drank a whole gallon of fucking bottom shelf, cheap ass vodka. He's drunk out of his mind. We get in a fight about that. I go to get in the shower. When I get out, he's gone. He took my car and he left. So now I'm freaking out. I call his phone. He's not answering. You know, I'm sending messages. He's not responding. I don't know what the fuck is going on. So now I'm just freaking out because, again, he's drinking and driving. He took my car, or one of my cars, and I have no clue where he went. So at this point, I'm just really super fucking irritated. About an hour goes by. I get a phone call from him. He tells me he's at Lou's house. So not like that makes matters any better, because now it's like, okay, so you're drinking and driving, and now you're at your fucking boyfriend's house, so who knows what the fuck is going on. Either way, he said he needed space. He was going to clear his mind. He was going to sober up, take a nap. He'd be home later. I say I'll come.
We know exactly what he's about to go do, because I'm pretty sure in them 3 years he still wasn't sleeping with her. He's going to get get himself some head. That's what he ran off to go do. He got drunk like he always do to deal with the fact that he's bisexual, and he went to get some head from Lou on their anniversary, their wedding anniversary.
At him, he says no, hangs up the phone. A couple hours go by. I'm calling, messaging, calls don't write the voicemail, messages aren't going through. So now I'm starting to panic a little bit. So then it hits me. I said, well, let me go in the call log and find Lou's phone number, right? Because obviously he's been talking to him, calling or messaging. I go in the call log, I get Lou's phone number, I call. He says, Billy Bob was here, but he left. He left a couple hours ago. So now I'm starting to really freak out because I'm like, okay, his phone is off. He left Lou's. Who knows where the fuck he went? He probably wound up in jail. He probably crashed. He probably got to this point. Hours had passed since he says he left Lou's house. I'm starting to get upset. I'm like in full-blown panic attack. And I just remember thinking like, what the fuck? And then it hit me. I knew his Apple ID. I set it up. I knew the email and the password. So I'm like, oh shit, I can use it. Find my iPhone. Boom. I go on Find My iPhone, and it worked. But because his phone was off, it showed me his last location, which was at Lou's. So now I'm like, okay, so he left his friend's house. And just to let you guys know, Billy Bob is not the fucking brightest bulb in the bunch. So he's not very bright. He's not good with direction. So I'm literally like, where could he have drove to without having his phone on? Like, what is happening right now? Either or. At this point, I'm thinking, should I start calling police station? Should I call hospital? And I'm constantly calling, texting, going to voicemail. Location not updating. And then finally around 11 o'clock at night, the location updated. And I was like, oh shit. And you wouldn't believe where the fuck he was. A hotel in Trenton, New Jersey. And my heart literally fucking dropped.
So he basically went on their wedding anniversary night. He chooses to show his whole ass. And I think what really happens is because he's very angry that he's married to her. So it's like this wedding anniversary is really just reminding him that he's married to someone he don't want to be married to. So he goes on a night on the town, essentially. He gets drunk off his ass. He just got his license. So like she said, her dad said, when he gets everything he needs, he's going to, like, you know, just switch up on you. Now that he has his license, he don't need her to drive him around anymore. He's now at Lou's getting some head. He's now in a hotel with a girl. He's just living it up. He is living it up. He's probably feeling repressed because he has not been able to enjoy sex with who he wants to enjoy sex with. He's, you know, doing the porn thing and masturbating on a regular basis, on a daily basis, apparently, let her tell it, until he just snaps. It seemed like he snapped and was just like, I just need to get some, and I need to be with the people I want to be with. Because like I said, when you drink, it also makes the truth come out. Your inhibitions are gone. Like, you're not able to suppress who you really are as well anymore. And it seems like he's being with who he really want to be with. That's what I'm gathering. Because I'm like, it's your wedding anniversary. Why are you choosing this specific day to basically just lose your mind and go off and do what she claims you had never done before, like step out of the marriage? And it's like, to me, it just seems like he just snapped. Like, he couldn't take another wedding reminder of having to have been married to her, not wanting to have sexual relations with her, but being really, really horny. Let's just say that.
I just was fucking dumbfounded. I couldn't even believe the shit. And I'm just like, who the fuck is he at a hotel with? And when the fuck a lot of shit, but nothing this fucking bad. So immediately I'm like, okay, I gotta get to this fucking hotel. Now, the kids are in their sleep, and I called one of my best friends. He lived around the corner. I said, yo, I need you to come sit with my kids. I'm about to be on a whole fucking dummy mission, bitch. He comes over. I leave, go to the hotel. So when I get to the hotel, I find my car parked in the parking lot. And inside the car, of course, is his phone. The phone is turned off. So he's at this hotel with. So I go through the messages, I go through the call log, nothing. The only last call he had was to Lou. So nothing is pointing to any direction of who did he meet at this hotel? Who has he even been talking to? Because to my knowledge, like I said, he's always with me. He's at work or home getting drunk. Like, when did this even fucking happen? So now I'm feeling like, okay, this motherfucker is feeling bold tonight, but there ain't no way that he ain't leaving this hotel to come home, because he ain't fucking that dumb. At this point, like I said, my blood is boiling. I can barely breathe. I'm having a fucking panic attack. I'm like, fuck this. I gotta go inside. I don't know what I planned on doing, bitch, but I had to go find out. I walk right by the front desk, and I just casually start walking the hallways past every fucking door in the hotel. Like, yeah, maybe, you know, I would hear his voice or get some type of clue of what room he was in. At that point, I don't even know what I was thinking, because had I found him in the room, like, who knows what would have happened. But nonetheless, of course, I wasn't going to knock on every door, and I did not get the confirmation I needed. So I go to the front desk. I showed the man my ID with my last name. I said, listen, my husband is in this hotel. My car is outside. I said, this is an emergency. I need you to call his room and tell him to come down here. The man goes on to tell me that doesn't matter if I'm his wife or not. He can't give any customers information. And furthermore, he can't even confirm or deny if the person is in the hotel. I'm like, cool. I said, no problem. I'll just sit the fuck outside. So at this point, I go back in my truck and I'm sitting outside. Like I said, on my mind, I'm thinking he's got to come out of this hotel any second because there's no fucking way that he did not plan on coming.
I wasn't married to my ex, and I went up in that hotel and told his like old black man that was at the front desk. I was like, I want to know which room he's in, because he left my house. We were fighting about whatever, his dumbass, and he took off and went to the hotel, and I was like, he better not be there, no hoe. And that guy gave me his number, his hotel room number, everything. That was not his wife, and I guess that dude just knew, like, this dude is showing his ass, and she's up here about to burn this place down if she don't find him. And yeah, so I went in the room. He better be by himself. He was by himself. But yeah, that made me think about that story, and how I think it's funny, like, she's the whole wife and the guy's like, it doesn't matter, I'm not giving you any information. It was too funny.
So I'm sitting in my truck. At this point, like 4 o'clock in the morning comes around. I mean, I'm crying. I'm hyperventilating. I don't even remember feeling so much pain.
Can you imagine it's your wedding anniversary and you're sitting outside a hotel room where your husband is probably with another woman or another man having sex with this person, and you're sitting in the car, like, and you can't even get into the hotel room. You can't contact him. His phone's in the car dead or whatever. Like, that's insane to me. But I do think she should have waited at that hotel until he came out. Like, I would just parked right by that car and just waited for him to show up. Like, she's out there now. It's 4 a.m. I mean, they got to check out at 11, right? I'd have been right there posted up, because time he came out, I would have been on Snap. No, I'm joking. I'd have caught a charge. Okay, I would have caught a charge, because he's tripping. He's tripping. Like, I'm not about to go home and play little wife now, after you made me into the whole man in the relationship all this time, and wait for you to come home. Like, I will sit my ass right there and wait for him to come out to that car. And we would have had it would have been a whole problem for him. And I also would have did it too, just to see who was he in there with. Because you'll see, as the story continues, how she's, again, glossing over some pretty big details. Because she's assuming that he's in there with the girl, because she knew this one girl lived in Trenton, New Jersey. But was it a girl? Was it that same woman? Was it a woman at all?
My, like, physical pain from being shocked and just betrayed. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? It's like 4 a.m. I'm like, fuck it. Okay, I got something for his ass. I said, let me get home, get to my kids, because they're going to have to get up for school soon. I get them up for school. I take them to school. I tell my best friend, I said, let's go. We about to go to this hotel in Trenton. Now, if you know, hotel checkouts are about 11 o'clock. At this point, I had dropped my kids off at school at 9 a.m.
Does anyone else think it's weird that her best friend is a guy? Shit, you cannot. This shit is weird. Like, you can't make this shit up to me. I feel like she acts like more masculine, and the fact that her best friend's a guy, it's like you hanging with the boys. Like, it's just really strange. And then, but her husband, he's bisexual. He got boyfriends, and he got girls who are friends who he's not sleeping with. That's why I don't think there's a woman in that hotel room, because I'm like, he wouldn't sleep. He never slept with the one woman he was talking about. The other woman he used to live with, is she talking about her?
So I'm like, that's perfect, because he didn't come home.
Because to me, he's already was at Lou's. Why didn't he just stay at Lou's house? Didn't he get what he needed from Lou? Like, how much sex do you need in one night? So it's like he's almost crashing out, just wilding out, because he just been repressed sexually for so long. He getting something from Lou. He going to the hotel to get some more. I really don't think it's a woman that's in that room. I think it's a man.
Leave. I'm steady checking the location. I said, so now I'm going to find him and the bitch he's with when they come out. The
last time I checked too, I know, I'm sorry y'all keep stopping, but Lou did she even go to Lou's house to check with Lou? I don't think she did. What if he's in the hotel with Lou?
Hotel. So I kind of had a feeling the whole time on who he was with, because I knew his ex, which was the only real serious relationship he was in before me, was from Trenton. I kind of felt like he had to be with her. We had words in the past when she found him on Facebook. again, asking him for money, and basically, oh, I see you're getting married, and I'm like, yo, just fall back, like, you'll get your money, like, leave it alone type shit, because I could already see she was on.
Yeah, that's the same woman that was saying that she was loaned her money and he owed her money and she was buying him sneakers and stuff. She said he never slept with her, never went out with her, nothing. So why suddenly he laying up with her now? I think that this woman, again, glossing over the true facts of the details, doesn't want to know the truth. Her husband is bisexual. He's in there with Lou. Lou's his guy. Lou's the guy that came to their house. Lou's the guy that showed his ass and he didn't stop being friends with Lou. Lou's the first person he called and went over to hang out with on their 3rd year wedding anniversary. Lou's the one that was jealous, who said to her, it's your fault that we can't give each other head anymore. Lou's the one that broke down damn near kicked down the door and was threatening her life because he was so jealous that she was laid up with her own husband. Like, Lou is that guy, okay? And she doesn't want to admit it. He's in that hotel room with Lou. He's definitely in that hotel room. He's not in a hotel room with that woman who told her, he's taking money from me. I buy him stuff. She do all this stuff, all these things for him. He don't even want to sleep with her, ever. Why he's suddenly sleeping with her now? And don't even sleep with his own wife. Like, no.
Some funny shit. But he had conversations with me about her in the past and how he did love her and he fucked up and how he was always cheating on her and doing this, that, and the third and yada 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 yada, all this bullshit. So that was my gut feeling at the time. So I'm like, we're gonna get back to this hotel. Boom, we're gonna find them, see them. So now the whole way to the hotel, it's about a 20-minute ride. I'm constantly looking at the dot, like, please don't leave this hotel. Now we get 2 minutes from the hotel and the dot moves. And I'm like, no, stop. So I'm like, what the fuck? Because the dot was moving like towards me. So it looked crazy. And I look over and this guy is driving past me on the other side of the freeway. So the freeways, this is like route on the other side or make a U-turn is going through jug handles. So now I'm in my big ass expedition. I'm hitting like a buck. I'm going like 100 miles per hour. I'm trying to catch up with his ass. I get to the jug handle, boom, make the U-turn, get on the other side of the freeway, steady watching the dot, and we have about maybe 3-4 minutes between us from the freeway onto an exit, like into the actual hood, into a neighborhood. So I'm like, all right, like, where the fuck is he going now? When he passed us, there was nobody else in the car with him, so that was the first confirmation he was alone. So now, boom, I get to the exit. By the time I get...
So basically, it seems like she never really figured out who was in the hotel room with them. I just want to point that out.
The exit, I see the dot get to a gas station, so I'm like, all right, bet, we about to catch up with his ass right now. Ain't no way I'm about to miss him. Boom. We get to the gas station, approaching the gas station. I didn't even have to look at the dot. I seen him pull out of the gas, cut off oncoming traffic. Like, people were driving behind, like, literal cut off oncoming traffic. People slamming on their brakes, beeping the horn. My friend is like, yo, bitch, what the fuck are you about to kill us? And I didn't even care. I was like, I don't give a fuck. He's looking in his rear view. He sees me behind him. Now I'm getting up on the bumper. I'm telling him, pull the fuck over. I'm like, get the fuck, pull over. I'm beeping my horn. I got the fucking horn beep. He bangs a right onto like a back street, where houses are. And at this point, he wasn't trying to stop. I stopped him myself. I fucking Brody the shit out of him. I pulled up next to him and just drove him off the road. He went up on somebody's yard. The people behind us slamming on the brakes. They're getting out the car.
This is what people are telling women to get married first for. I'm sitting at home relaxed in my warm home with my babies, my guinea pigs. Life is good, roof over our head, food in our bellies, clothes on our back. Just quiet, peaceful life. And people are like, well, she should have got married first. Like, being a single mother is the worst thing ever. Being a baby mama is the worst thing ever. I think she was doing better when it was just her and her kids. She tried to be with the guy. She was in relationships with those guys. She married this guy. Who wants to go through all this? Not me. This is raggedy. This is all the way raggedy. This is cop cars and jail time and time away from my kids. Like, this is time from work and losing money because I lost a job because I've been locked up. Like, this is a mess. This is somebody possibly getting killed or I'm dead and now my kids don't have a mom to raise them. This ain't it. This is not it. Now, is everyone else doing Dukes of Hazzard with their marriages? I have no clue. You can gaslight all day and pretend and lie, manipulate, and act like your marriage is bucket of full of daisies, but I know it's not because you all are so fake. Like, people don't ever tell the truth about their marriages. They just lie or they hide everything because it's shitty. They be online trying to act like the marriage is great until somebody's dead. It's child bye.
Or they're like, we're calling the cops. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And the whole time, this guy gets out the car, and the first thing he said was, who the fuck is that in the car? Talking about my best friend. So I'm like, the audacity, bitch. I know you fucking lying. I know you lying, questioning who I got in the car when you just left the hotel with a bitch. So at this point, we're in somebody's yard fighting. My friend is like, yo, the cops are gonna come. Like, you need to come on. Like, let's fucking go. And that's when I realized, you know, I wasn't just chasing a drunk ass husband. I was literally about to uncover his whole double fucking life. So from this point on, every fucking thing unraveled and just went to fucking hell.
If you gotta do all of this, then it is time to just go ahead and chop up this relationship. You're literally putting not only your life at risk, but your best friend's life at risk. It's just not even worth it just to discover that the man that you're with is living a double life. It's like, you had your intuitions. You knew he was doing something on a down. You knew he was doing something grimy. So at this point, it's just like, you just gotta take your loss.
I'm surprised we years into this marriage after finding out years ago that he was DL.
Thank you. They're both on point. That's what I say. Like, I can't believe they went this long. I thought she would have, when this story first started, I thought she would have been like just explaining maybe a year and a half, maybe, of dealing with his crazy ass. She's going into a 3rd year of marriage with this dude. And then she says they were married ultimately like an entire 10 years. I'm like, where they do that at? I see women all the time online talking about like how they dealt with a narcissist or they dealt with these crazy people and been married 17 years, 26 years, 20 years. I'm like, are y'all crazy? Like, we literally just doing whatever with our lives today. Like, we're just giving our life away to some guy. It's just, I cannot understand it.
So if you're not into those things, then that was the time to make it very, apparent that, hey, I'm not into this. But to tell along 3 years later, I don't feel. I
don't feel like you really have a fucking leg to stand on at this point. Like, you knew he was bisexual. You chose to play games and play dumb and ignore, entertain, compartmentalize, whatever you had to do with yourself so you could stay married to this man for whatever reason, who wasn't touching you, not sleeping with you, not paying no bills, just raggedy or drunk, can't drive nowhere. You know, it's like you literally just brought crazy into your life and you claim it's because you love him. I don't know whatever that is, but there's nothing she can say now. Like, it's like you knew he was living a double life. He's always been living a double life since the day he told you he was bisexual, and would you still love him, and you played your game and played dumb, like, oh no, I wouldn't, and are you? Da-da-da-da. That's the double life. That's when it began. I mean, it was already beginning. He started off lying every time he wasn't living with nobody, but he had a whole girlfriend he was living with. Child bye.
It's a choice at this point. Like, you could have got that divorce annulled as soon as he told you he was bad. You could have called.
Facts. Like, literally could have got it annulled the time you had the honeymoon and he ain't touched you the whole night and you by yourself and shit just kept going downhill. Like, he wasn't sleeping with you, when y'all came back home, etc., etc. You could have got it annulled and you didn't. So this is what you signed up for. Like Mr. Messy said, at this point, this is a choice. This is coming from a man for women who need to listen to men say the same thing women do and to, like, understand and hear it. This is the choice at this point. She's choosing this. It's not just happening to her and she's a victim. Like, you're literally, you chose this life. You chose to be riding over the median in your big expedition, flying down the road, cops being caught on you, almost killing your best friend and yourself, like your kids not having a mom. Like, you choosing all of this. You choosing all the crazy. Him being in a hotel, you don't know who he in the hotel with. It's probably Lou. Like, you choosing all this. You chose Lou knocking down your door and acting like a psycho and threatening your life. Like, you're choosing this. And I don't know why anyone would choose this. Like, I just don't understand it. Why don't you just want to be happy? Why don't you just want to be in love and have a beautiful life? Like, I feel like people take some things so far because they're just male identified and male centered. Like, the whole, to to death do us part, to having to hold, like all those things are fake anyway. They came into the language very late and they're not in the Bible anywhere. But, you know, some of the stuff people say, it's like, you, even if it were in the Bible, like you're picking and choosing things when it also said you can get a divorce when you're not to commit adultery. You're not to do a lot of things that people do. And it's like, we're just picking, you know, picky, what do you call it? Cherry picking what we want to follow. Like, you're not supposed to have sex before marriage, but everybody does. So miss me with your bullshit and your high horse and your pedestal that you're trying to stand up on. Like, you're not on there with me, and I don't care. Like, it's not your job to keep together a marriage that you're not breaking apart. Your partner is. Your partner's the one cheating. Your partner's the one acting a fool, running around, lying, doing all this stuff. Like, why is it your job to keep that raggedy mess together? Fuck that.
It off and said, nah, you knew something was up with him. You know, even like a month within y'all marriage, you found out that he had a man, you know? So it's like, at this point, you're choosing to be in it, so it's like, it's hard to feel bad for it. But yeah, people will do everything but leave.
And the fact that even his friend Lou was just upfront and told you about the relationship, and you still tried to be in denial of the fact. And the fact that you were literally in fear of your life, and your husband is like just brushing it off like it's nothing. This man came busting in your door, foaming at the mouth, and your husband is laying there, no help at all. If that wasn't enough to show that he doesn't care about you, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, he literally do not like her at this point.
The next day he calls me. He's like, yeah, you know, I got to be able to have a good time. You know, I got to get this out of my system before I leave. This, that, and the third. Everything's cool. I'm going to come home tomorrow. We can pack my stuff, and then, you know, you can take me to the airport. Again, I'm like, whatever. Because at this point, I'm to the fucking my wit's end with this guy. To me, I felt like the sage literally pushed the evil out my fucking home. Because that's what they say it does. So like I said, he says he's going to come back Saturday. Now, Saturday, I'm out. Now, this whole time he's going to lose, he's playing fucking games. He ain't picking up the phone. He's not messaging me back. Every time he does call, he's drunk as shit. He's slurring. I don't even know what he's saying. And I'm just getting so fucking frustrated because I'm like, yo, you're really about to leave for a month to go to rehab and you're hanging out with fucking Lou? Like, why? But you already knew the reason why, because what we all know. So, anyway, he tells me when I talked to him early Saturday.
And remember, this is her third year marriage. So, third year of marriage. So, she basically knows he's with Lou. She basically knows that Lou is his man. So it's like her basically being okay with him cheating on her with another woman. He's with Lou, and she's accepting this in some way that she's not saying that my man got a man, and I am okay. Like, apparently you are okay with him being bisexual because she's not going anywhere for another 7 years. So
that he was coming home, Lou was going to be dropping him off. When I came home that night, all his shit was gone. His shit was packed up. I get a phone call from his brother. And his brother tells me that him and the girlfriend just got to Philly and picked up Billy Bob, took him to my place to pack his stuff so he can go to rehab, and dropped him back off at Lou's. Like, why?
He hates this woman. This is what it looks like when your husband hates you, ladies. Because she seems like she's trying to be confused. He can't fucking stand her. He is doing everything he can to, like, get away from her. Like, aside from just getting a divorce. Because men just running around like cowards. And women, that's why women always have to initiate divorce. Because guys are, like, never going to do it. He is running everywhere. He running to Lou's house. His brother's going to get, like, he's doing so much. He's coming home when she's not there to pack. And this is, like, his last night before he go to rehab for months and months or whatever. And he's spending his time with Lou. What does that tell you? He don't like her. He want to be with Lou. He want to be with Lou. This is where I get frustrated because I'm like, how many signs do you need to have that this guy's not into you? He don't want you. He do not care that you're his wife. He don't care about no titles. He don't care that y'all married. He don't care about no damn wedding. He don't care about shit. Men are very selfish. They're going to get what they want. This man is not thinking about her. Like, he's doing the most to avoid her before he goes to rehab. Why? And she's like, why? Because he doesn't like you. I don't know why he don't like you. He just don't. Like your dad said, and your dad already knew, he got what he wanted out of you, and he's done with you. He has his driver's license again. He got his job through Pepsi from your dad, or his connections with your dad, or whatever. He getting everything he want from her. He's on the come up. Is her life getting better because she's with him? I don't hear anything positive happening. Like, are you doing anything good with your life? What did you get from this marriage? Women, ladies, you got to be more selfish. You got to be like, what's in it for me? Why would I marry you? What am I going to get out of it? Because trust and believe, men are doing it. They are hypergamous as fuck. Like, they going to definitely be figuring out how they can upgrade themselves from being with you. They going to get theirs. And on top of that, they're going to be who they want to be with. So if they have to cheat on you, have the little man behind closed doors, like, they're going to do what they want to do. Period. And the sooner y'all wake up, the better you'll be for it. And stop shaming women into these shitty marriages that a lot of us have ran from. That's why we're single moms, because we're not putting up with the bullshit that you're willing to tolerate just so you can say you have a husband.
At this point, he's pretty much telling me, like, I'm going to go to rehab without you. So you know me, bitch. I couldn't have that. So the next morning, because again, I had all the flight information in the email, I show up at the airport. I go and explain.
These women are all the same. Like, they just chase these guys down like fucking rabid puppy dogs. Like, why are you going there when he said he doesn't want to see you before he goes to rehab? He don't care about you. He don't want to be with you. He don't be around you. I'm like, okay, I'll just minding my business, getting ready to divorce, going to college, getting moving up the corporate ladder, building a business, doing something, not chasing after his ass. How many times you gonna chase after him? And I'm gonna keep telling you stories because they all do the same fucking thing. Stop chasing after him. He don't want you. Jesus, like, does he have to literally come out and tell her, I don't want you? People are crazy.
To customer service or whoever that is, what's going on, that I need to get in there. I need to talk to my husband before his flight takes off. They let me in. I go through the security check and I find him sitting in the fucking terminal looking like a sulky, sad ass lost puppy. And I'm like, yo. And he's like, okay.
It's funny she said puppy because that's what she is the puppy that's lost without her marriage, her title. She's so marriage identified, like she don't even know how to function without it. And she's just chasing him all over the place, trying to keep something together that should have never been.
And, oh, you know, I was going to call you when I got there. Like, I'm not in my right state of mind. Like, this weekend was so crazy. Like, I went through so much. I did all this. Like,
he could say whatever he wanted to, but he made time for Lou.
I just know, you know, I'm about to change my life around. And I just had to get it all out one last time. I said, Billy Bob.
Get what out one last time? Get what out? Drinking and fucking Lou? Like, what is he getting out? Those are some interesting words he used. Like, is she gonna use the drunk excuse again? But why can't you do that with me? Like, why you had to be at Lou's house to do that? Why can't you be with me and drink? You've been drinking around me any other time.
Whatever. What the fuck ever. The next day, his counselor calls me. They let me know he made it. They let me know he's going through detox. They're keeping me updated on his status, his health, how everything's going. I wind up hearing from him that night. He checks in. Now he's sober. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I love you. I messed up. Like, can you ever forgive me? Like, how did I do this? Why? How did I get here? Like, thank you so much for helping me. Yada, yada, yada. Tomorrow, I'm going to be calling you with the counselor. Like, can we do, a family session? I'm like, whatever. Again, at this point, I'm just like, it is what it is type shit. Like, nothing you say is fucking true, so who fucking knows? He winds up calling me with the counselor. We do the therapy session. At this point, you know, he's saying he has a problem. He's sorry for what he did to hurt me. He doesn't want to lose me. I'm like, you know, do what you got to do. You know, I'm here, whatever. We did a couple family counseling sessions. You know, he would call while he was there. And basically, when it got towards the end, you know, he let me know, this is my flight, this is when I'm getting in, I'll be here tomorrow, boom, will you be at the airport? Yes, I'll be there. I'm not going to pick him up at the airport, and you would think that, you know, he's coming home, everything is going good, he's sober, and wouldn't you know, Billy Bob had some more fucking tricks up his sleeve, bitch. You won't believe this one. Of course, Billy Bob had some more shit up his sleeve, right? So he gets in a car, and he's like, I'm not coming home. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes on to tell me that the place set him up with an outpatient therapy at a halfway house. And that he still needed time because he wasn't ready. And I was like, okay, I understand all that and I support that. But like, I've talked to you every day since you've been in this rehab. And not one time did you tell me that you were going to a halfway house and not coming home. So I said, where's the halfway house, Billy Bob? And he tells me that it's in Jersey. And it's like an hour away from where we live. And I'm like, that was the closest thing you can find. He goes on to tell me, you know, I know it's not what you wanted to hear. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I didn't want you to be upset. Like, I thought, you know, it was better that we talk about it face to face. He's like, but the good thing is it's outpatient. Like, I'll be able to come home. I'll even be able to sleep out some nights. And because, you know, I worked it out with insurance, I'm going to be able to keep the job and getting the disability. So I'm like, okay. I take him home. He packs most of his stuff. We go ahead to this halfway house. So the first week or two he's there is pretty intense. Like, he's really not able to leave like that because he's in a lot of like group therapies and like all this other stuff and like meeting with his counselor. So he didn't have a car at the time. Like every other day or a few times a week I would go up there and get him, bring him home. Like he would hang out with us, you know, we'd have dinner, he would stay, and then I would take him back before curfew. So then finally he gets to a point where it's less intense and he's able to start, staying the night out once in a while. He has a later curfew and, he can make some moves. So he winds up taking a car with him. Now, when he was coming this whole time, his attitude was very, his demeanor was very cold because now he was sober. And I felt like he was just very irritable, very agitated. Like I had to walk on eggshells, right? Because he just didn't seem happy about nothing. So then I started noticing, now that he had the car and he would come, that he was acting a little different. And I didn't want to accuse him because I didn't want to start nothing, but I started to sense, I think he's drinking. But mind you, the whole time, he's telling me, the halfway house is very strict. They give breathalyzers, they do drug tests, all of this. So I'm thinking there's no way that he could be going there, getting drunk, and still living there. Boom. He comes the one day, and now at this point, he's, slurring a little bit. And I'm like, oh, shit, he's drinking. And we wind up getting into it, and he leaves. And then it hit me. I said, let me check the Apple ID. I want to see where he's going. And it's crazy because if you remember from the earlier part, the shit with the hotel when I tracked his phone, to that day, he still never asked how I knew where he was. The shit just spiraled so far out of control so fast that it never even came back to, how the fuck did you find me? He never asked. So he still didn't know that I could track his iPhone. So I tracked the iPhone, and I see when he leaves the house, he goes to a bar. He stays there for 15, 20 minutes. He leaves, goes back to the halfway house. Later that night when I check, he's up the street from the halfway house at this restaurant type pub. When I check, I'm calling, texting, he's not answering. He winds up staying there for an hour and a half. Later that night, he calls me. He tells me he was with the guys from the halfway house, a couple of guys. They went out to eat to the restaurant. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Still not telling him. I see where the fuck you're going and what you're doing. So now he comes over a couple of days later, and when he comes over, I can clearly tell he's been drinking. We get into it because now I accuse him. Now I'm like, I know you're drinking. You're slurring. I try to take my keys. He winds up running out to the car and leaving. I'm like, okay, this is how he wants to play. We get into it. We don't talk for a day. The next...
He is like a child. Not running out to the car with the keys and driving away. This is comical at this point.
Hey, I'm in my closet looking for something, and when I hit one of his shoe boxes, one of them little ass bottles of liquor, the ones you get by the register, fell out the box, and I'm like, so I open up the box, bitch, it's filled with empty little fucking mini liquor bottles. So now I'm putting two and two together, all this time he's been coming here, he's been sneaking, trying to hide, drinking from me. So now I confront him and we're fighting. I'm like, I found these fucking bottles. I'm like, I want my car. You're up there, I don't know what type of time you're on, you're supposed to be getting help. This shit is crazy, you know what I mean? So
if this motherfucker don't live his truth so he can stop being a raging alcoholic, and she's wrong for, this is why I say she don't love him either, because you'd want someone you love to walk in their truth and live their true selves and be in their true life. And he's hiding shit. He's ashamed. He's sneaking around. It's just not cute. And it's because he's bisexual and he can't be with Lou. Let's just be so for real. I feel bad for him. I actually feel sorry for him. He's clearly got some kind of inner demons and some struggles and battles that he's battling, and she's so busy trying to have this weird fake fairy tale American dream wedding life marriage that her denial is hurting him even more. That's why he's always running away from her. He can't be himself with her. He wants to be a bisexual man. She doesn't accept that. And so he's drinking to have to be around her, like Mrs. Messy said. Whenever he's around her, he basically gonna have to be drunk because he's not gonna get to be himself. And he's deeply unhappy. Deeply unhappy. And her pretending that she doesn't know what's going on continuously is just harming him even more. It's fucking with his mental. And it's really rare I feel sorry for a man, but I feel sorry for this dude. For real. He is in great pain.
When we start fighting, he tells me that he really needs to focus. He needs to get more, meeting times in with his sponsor, because now our fighting is causing him to want to drink. I'm like, whatever, Billy Bob. So I let it go for a couple of days. We're not really talking. And then I get a phone call from the halfway house. They tell me that Billy Bob has not reported back in over 24 hours. Therefore, he couldn't take his drug test. And because they haven't been able to get in touch with him, they said he never showed up. So we had to report it to the insurance company. They asked me if I could come pick up his stuff. I told him, yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. I look up Billy Bob's location. I see he's somewhere in New Jersey. I'm calling, texting, can't get through. His mom, everybody's calling him. So I call up my best friend. I'm like, yo, we're about to go get my car. It's somewhere in New Jersey. She's like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. This guy's, he's in the fucking rehab drinking. He got kicked out. I don't know who he's with or where he's at, but we gotta go get my shit. So boom, we get to New Jersey. Now this place is an apartment complex.
And she don't care about that car. She's just so up his ass. It's not even funny. She's using that car as an excuse. She ain't stunned that car. She should have been worrying about her kids and worrying about getting her life together and getting away from him.
40 minutes from where we live and about 40 minutes from the halfway house. So when we pull up, I find my car finally in the parking lot. There's 8 different units. They're condos, so each one had a private entrance that it's parked in front of. So I don't know. I'm my first instinct is I'm about to just knock on doors until I find him. Because what? I knock on one door, nobody answers. I knock on another door, lady comes, opens the door. I'm like, yes, Billy Bob there. She's like, bitch, I don't know you, Billy Bob. She slams the door in my face. So I'm like, all right, let me go check the car. I'm like, maybe I'll get lucky. When I go in the car, I find a duffel bag in the back seat. It's got his clothes, a couple pair of Jordans, and his phone. The phone is on. It's just chilling in the duffel bag. So I go to the phone. I immediately go to the messages.
Why does he always go in people's houses and don't take his phone? That's suspect to me too. Like he's trying to keep the people he's around from seeing that she's calling him or something. Or maybe he just don't want them to know what room how unit he's in, because if he takes the phone in the house, it might, or into the hotel room, whatever, it might give that information. But I don't know too many people that would leave their iPhone in the car or their cell phone in the car. People take their phones everywhere, so this is suspect to me.
And the phone log, and bitch, what I found in this phone was unfucking real. But I couldn't even dive that deep at this point. I just needed to find out where Billy Bob was. So I go right to the messages, and there was multiple conversations with multiple people and females. And I go to the first one that says, I'm on my way, I'll be there, from him. Boom, I open up the message to somebody named Jackie, and she sends the address to where the fuck I'm at. So now I know he's at Jackie's house. So it didn't even take me 2 seconds. I'm like this. Call, right? Hello, Jackie. Hi. This is Billy Bob's wife. I'm actually out front of your apartment right now. Like, I could literally hear her jaw hit the floor. Like, you could hear a pin drop. And I'm sitting here trying to listen, like, to see if I could hear Billy Bob, you know what I mean, in the background, and nothing. I'm like, yeah, you can let Billy Bob know that I'm out front, and I'm taking my car, I'm taking his stuff, and, like, you can have him. Click, hung up. Took the phone, everything. So we leave. My girl follows me. When I get home, I unraveled. The shit is like a fucking movie. The shit that this guy was doing while he was supposed to be doing right in a halfway house was fucking insane. Okay, so the night I caught him cheating, tracked him to Jackie's house, took my car and all his stuff and his phone, and left him there. I told you the shit was like a fucking movie, what I found in his phone. Picking up with part 15, I married a monster. I get home, like my thought, mind you, I'm completely fucking devastated. Like, I don't think, you thought it was bad before the night of the hotel, the horror at the hotel. Like, no, this was on a whole nother level. I'm going through the phone. He was a whole catfish page. He had a whole catfish with a fake name. He said he was from New Jersey and lived in New Jersey, where the halfway house was. He had took our pictures and cropped me out and used them for his catfish profile. And he literally talked to, like, every female in the zip code. I mean, he must have went down the whole list of chicks in the zip code to, I guess, trying to find somebody that he could use and go stay somewhere and get drunk. In his inbox, it was like a million females. And every single one, it was like on repeat. The same time, he was hitting with the same corny ass lines over and over and over. Then had the nerve on his profile to say his headline or whatever was, I don't want somebody who's for everybody. Like, and you have a whole beautiful ass wife that's only for you, that you neglect and use and abuse. But anyway, so I'm going through, all these profiles, and wouldn't you know it, I happened to come across somebody named Jackie. And when I opened up the messages, it was like extensive history. He had talked to her the first time he used to deal with her was before I even met him. So he met her on Plenty of Fish, and the bitch was still there waiting, like 5 years later to get caught again. I don't know. So by the time I'm sitting here going through the phone, I get a phone call from a random number. It's him. He's taunting me. He's telling me that, bring him the car back. Where's his stuff? Like, he didn't even know what to say, I guess, because he felt so fucking dumb. Told me that he had another phone, that this was a phone that he had, and, basically, whatever, just talking all this shit. I'm, like, obviously screaming, cursing, yelling, crying, going fucking crazy. When 12 o'clock came and his money hit, I transferred all the money to my private account. But he's such an idiot, he didn't know, because we had a joint account, that I had my own account set up, with the same bank on the side. So I just, boom, transferred all the money to my account. So now I left him there with no bread, no nothing. The next day, I go to the halfway house, just like I told them I would. I collected all his stuff. Like I said, he probably had about 10 pair of Jordans and a bunch of clothes, whatever. And I picked up all the shit, went home. After another week or two, when he was just taunting me, he was showing up at the house. Like, when I would leave and I would come home, there would be, like, random shit that was done to the crib that, like, was, like, obvious. Like, okay, I was here type shit. It was just fucking crazy. Like, one night, he showed up to my crib with this bitch. She's in the car. She pulls up, and he knew I was there. And he tells me to come outside. I come outside. She's in driver's seat of her truck. She's talking all this shit, yelling through the thing. She had the window cracked like this. I'm like, bitch, get the fuck out the car. I'm telling her, get out the car. He's getting in my face. Like, he's, holding me back. I'm telling him, like, dude, like, what is happening right now? This shit was crazy. Like, a month goes by and Valentine's Day comes. And wouldn't you know, Billy Bob pops up in my DMs talking about Happy Valentine's Day. Like, he wasn't living with a whole nother chick. Just, and I was just like, wow. And then messaged and said, you're going to be my wife forever. Like, I'm never letting go of you. And I was just like... So I guess that was his way to weasel himself back into my life. Slowly but surely, we started communicating a little.
She really just let him back into her life. That's all he had to say. Like, the last time he was in a bind, he proposed to her. Now he's living with another lady, drinking, living his best life. We don't know if he's sleeping with the other woman. I feel like he uses women to get the material things that he needs, but he sleeps with men for the sexual stuff that he wants. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't sleep with women at all, because obviously he's asleep with her too. But I think his main motive for women is to get the stuff he wants materially. Like, if he needs to find a place to stay. And I think men do that a lot. Like, if they have different women they have children with, or different women they have dealings with, whatever. Like, they just bounce from house to house. Like that song Papa Was Rolling Stone. Like, they just hop from house to house. Wherever he lay his hat is his home. And I think that's what he was doing. Plenty of fish. He was fishing for a house to live in because he didn't want to go back home with her. And it's just something about her that he just doesn't like. I don't know if it's because she doesn't drink and she won't let him drink and be bisexual. Like, I just don't know what it is. But he just don't like her for some reason. He's always running away from her. And then, of course, you know, for him to make sure he keeps a roof over his head, a steady roof over his head with her, he's like, says the stupid shit like, oh, you're going to be my wife forever. And that's enough for her. Ciao, bye.
Over time, until eventually he called me one day and said that he had got himself back into the halfway house. He went to his counselor and to like the program he was working with, and you know, they helped him get back, and he wound up working it out where he got the insurance was still covered and all that. He said again, you know, that he's sober, he needs to be sober, he's going to detox, like he doesn't want to do this anymore, yada yada yada. You know how sorry he is. He goes back to the halfway house, and then you know he's asking me if I want to do like counseling with his counselor yet again. So I'm like, fine. So now I'm driving up to New Jersey, like an hour away, you know, once a week to do counseling. That went on for like a month. And I would say overall he was there for about 3 months and then finally wound up coming back home. Now, mind you, my dad, remember, ran the whole, you know, quality control of Pepsi at the time. He was actually the shop steward. So it was like his job to fight and protect, you know, the workers because they were in a union if something were to happen. So my dad had to fight to keep his job because of the bullshit he pulled. He was able to go back to work.
Yeah, like I said, he's using her dad and her connections to keep himself employed because he's too stupid and lazy to like do it on his own. He's just using the fuck out of her.
And he finally came back home. I know what you're thinking, like how, why, what the fuck, right? Like, you don't realize when you're in the moment, like how fucking dumb you really are. You know,
she realizes it. She just is destined for desperation pick me marriage. Like, she just has to be fucking married at all costs. They don't even have kids together from what I'm hearing. So there's no reason why she's tied to this guy other than the fact that she allowed him to put her in a lavender marriage. Like, she just needs to cut the ties, get away from him. But she just keeps sticking to him like glue because she has the ring on the finger, the last name, the fairy tale that does not exist. Marriage. Like, it's just, this shit is insane to me. The obsession, the brainwashing that our country has done on women, to just like they've done with white supremacy, they've just done a number on women to make us feel like marriage was the end all, and it is not. You couldn't pay me to go through half the shit she's gone through with him. Like, you cannot pay me.
Manipulation, emotional abuse, and having a big ass heart, like loving somebody purely and being loyal and faithful to somebody and wanting, you know, to give them the benefit of the doubt and have grace because you believe in your heart that it can.
And women that do this kind of shit, because someone else said it in the comments, I think yesterday I was reading the comments about it was another video. But women that do all this shit for these men, they will never, ever be like this for the girls in their life, for the ladies in their life. Like, her family, she don't even get along with her parents. She moved out from with them in seconds. Talking about we were bumping heads, whatever. Like, how do you not get along with your parents, but you can put up with all this shit from this dude? Like, they put men, especially the ones they're screwing, above like everyone else. My mother does it with her husband. Women, I see women time and time again. It is the most unattractive trait I've seen. Like, it's so trifling to me how you could just throw everyone else under the bus for the person who treats you the worst. Like, I don't have time for those kind of people.
It will work, that they love you because they have done such a fucking fantastic job of making you believe that the shit that they're doing to you is love in some sick fucking twisted way. But this is the trap that I was caught in, and I know so many other women are caught in as well or have been caught in before. But he did come back. It did not take long, a day, that I had to go in his phone, because of course I don't fucking trust you, why should I, and see that he was talking to his ex still. In fact, he had talked to her the day before he left the rehab that I went to go pick him up to leave the halfway house. And these messages were like ridiculous. Now, from what I could decipher, and it was very obvious from the messages, they had never seen each other. So he was just continuing to communicate with her, mostly through text from what I can tell, while he was at the halfway house. But they had never met up, and he had never seen her again since the hotel night. So in the messages, you know, she's talking about how she can't wait for them to get married. And, you know, she's talking about what they're going to name their kids. She's saying how she had a dream about her wedding dress. Like, all of this shit, knowing he was married to somebody else at this time. Like, what? Either or, you know what I mean? He's feeding into her. Obviously, he's talking to this chick. But the thing that got to me the most was the fact that the brother's girlfriend, remember her? The one who didn't like the ex, they had got into it, this, that, and the third, was now all of a sudden friends with the ex again. And not only was she friends with her, but she had invited them, according to the ex, to come stay at their house for the weekend. because I guess neither one of them had their own place where they could stay. So that was just like ultimate slap in the face, because I'm like, already didn't like the bitch, but like she's so disrespectful. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. So, I addressed it with him. Immediately, it's like trying to convince me that what I seen with my own eyes wasn't real. Like, he's trying to convince me that all of that was a mirage. Like, he's telling me that in his mind, it was like an illusion. Like, he was just talking to her to pass the time, and it was like something that didn't mean nothing. It didn't matter. And I'm like, is something fucking wrong with you? Like, seriously. So anyway, me and her get into it. She's saying she doesn't believe me. She doesn't believe he's back home. That she'll see me on family vacation in Disney. Like all this crazy shit. And basically, I made him call her and tell her like what it was. And that was that. He's back home. A couple months go by. We're both working, just in the grind. Things seem to be going okay. Of course, it didn't take long. As soon as he got back, he started drinking again. So, he's doing a lot of calling out. He's missing work. He's going to the bars. All this crazy shit. So the one day I'm at work and he calls me obliterated. Like he's done. It was like he was mumbling. I heard like people in the background. It sounded like he was at the bar, but it was the middle of the day. He had called out of work that day. So I hear like voices laughing. So he's mumbling like a bunch of fucking nonsense. And then like my nerve, I remember being at work, like my nerves were so fucking bad that like I kept calling back. He wasn't picking up. I'm like, oh, this guy thinks he's fucking slick. I'm like, cause I already knew what it was. I knew he was at the bar and I knew that he was with a female. So boom, I fucking leave work. I leave work in the middle of the day. I tell my boss I don't feel good.
So we know her husband's bisexual. I think it's weird that he is with other women. Because it's one thing if he's not sleeping with her because he just wants to be with men or whatever. But like at this time or, whatever. Or in this period. But he keeps leaving and being with other women too. So he really just don't like her. Like I just don't understand what she's not understanding about this. I don't know why he's so off, like against her, but he just does not like, he's not attracted to her. He don't like being around her. When he is around her, he's drinking. It's just crazy. Well, he's drinking around everybody because he's living a double life. I don't know. It's a lot, but what I'm seeing here is that he does not like her, does not like being around her because he just keeps running from her and cheating on her. And she keeps letting it happen.
I'm like, I'm about to go catch his ass. I get to the fucking bar and my truck is in the parking lot. So I'm like, okay. I pull up to the side of the truck. The door is open. This guy is sitting in the driver's seat with his like foot hanging out. And he's like this. And he's fucking passed out. Like cold. I walk over. I'm like, yo, I walk over. The car is running. His wallet is sitting in the cup holder open and fucking empty. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. The first thing in my mind was a bitch robbed him. Whether or not she drugged him, or if he just really was that fucking drunk that he passed out at fucking 2 o'clock in the middle of the day, which it could have happened, but like to the point where you fall asleep with the car running, I don't even know why I'm surprised, because there's been so much dumb shit this guy has fucking, again, when I met him, and when you let your guard down and you start to fall in love with somebody, and they love bomb you so crazy. I'm talking like hold you every night, kisses you all over, always telling you good things, always complimenting you, always promising the greatest, brightest future, always saying, acting like he's striving to be the best man he could be for you, always telling you how you're his everything, you're my everything, and showering you with love and affection. Like, you're going to naturally care for this person. So like, see the time, all the time. In a way, I feel like it kept me stuck because I felt like it was my responsibility to fucking save him. Like, I had to be there for him because if I wasn't, I don't even know if he'd be here today. And I tell him that all the time, and to this day, he won't fucking admit it. And it was like, at that point, finding him passed out in that truck like that, I was just like, I don't think I'll ever be able to save him. There's nothing I could do. There's nothing I can do. And I wasn't even angry anymore. To be honest, I just felt like I was done. At that point, I think I finally started seeing, like, this was going to be my life forever. Like, if I stayed with him forever, this is what I would be dealing with for the rest of my life. Somehow, we're still in the thick of things, and a few months pass by, and COVID comes. Now, when COVID came, shit was really crazy, and we were quarantined, but he did go to work, and he was actually working like 7 days a week, because food and beverage never closed down. So, that was crazy dealing with that, but, he was coming home every day. Of course, he was bringing his beer when he would come home, and we would just hang out, and at this time, I started noticing, the phone addiction, like, all the time. Like, not a second goes by that the man couldn't be on his phone. It's like, it doesn't matter what you're doing. He'd be in the bathroom for fucking hours, like every day, wake up, if it was the weekend or if he had off, he'd go right to the bathroom. He'd be in the bathroom for hours, like hours. And then if we were like laying up all day, like trying to have like a resting, peaceful day or like a, quiet day, like he would just be on the phone. And he would be on the phone and I would see notifications pop up and I'm like, what the fuck is that? So one day I opened it and it was an app called like Bigo or Bigo. I still don't know what that shit is. It's an app where like, it's mostly females. They're on there basically doing a bunch of funny shit for cash and for fucking coins or diamonds or whatever the fuck they give out, how you pay them. You know what I mean? So they on there, they get a couple dollars, and thirsty ass, weird ass people like my husband are on there funding these chicks fucking, basically GoFundMe accounts shaking ass. I addressed him about it. He's like, oh, the guy at work was telling me you can use that for something, and I'm like,
This dude is gonna do everything but be with her sexually. He gonna be with everybody but her. Even in COVID, he's on Bigo, because I know what Bigo is. It's like some app it's a social media. It's either a social media app or a dating app. It's one of those two. I don't know. I downloaded a lot of social media apps because I'm trying to like branch out with my guinea pig channel or whatever I'm doing. But yeah, he even during COVID, this dude is like, I'm gonna be with everybody but you. Like, I'm gonna find a way to spend our money, our family money, on other females and spend time with them, entertain them, and do anything but be with my wife. It's just insane to me. And I'm like, I don't care that, like, how much love bombing did he do that this didn't null and void that, like, all this behavior afterwards. Because love bombing doesn't last for years. Like, it just, when do you wake up and realize that this dude is an asshole? Like, he does not care about me, because someone who loves me would not treat me like this. Why aren't we doing that, like, sooner?
Nah, delete this shit. Boom. A couple weeks go by, it's on his phone again. When I tell you, he would delete it, and then it would be back on his phone, like, every other day. And every time, like, because I wasn't going in his phone, like, all the time looking for shit, but, like, we would just be chilling, you know what I mean? And or be sitting next to each other. He would, like, be showing me a fucking funny video he's seen, and then boom, the little...
I'd be like, if I see this shit again, we are done. Like, she doesn't set any boundaries, and that's why he keeps doing whatever he wants to do. He is like a child, which I hate comparing grown men to children, but he's acting like a freaking child. Like, I tell you not to do this, time I turn my head, you doing it. He has no self-control, no impulse control, no respect for her. He's got a highly addictive personality. Like, how are you on the phone for hours in the bathroom? That probably feels like his only place to get away from her and her kids, who she never talks about. And he probably in there doing other things too, to these women who are doing things that he's sending money to. Child, I can't. I'm so glad this is almost over. Like, this has been hell to listen to. Like, she is crazy for putting up with this. She's crazy. Women, we can do so much better, and it's okay to be single.
The notification would come, little fat white thing, the little fat ghost. And I'm like, you fucking down. And every time he would be like, I didn't download it in my phone. Like, just the dumbest fucking shit that you deal with. Like, why?
Like, he knows he can tell her anything. She's not going to go anywhere. So why should he even put in a lot of effort in lying? Because he knows she's not going anywhere anyway. Like, imagine, like, if you're with somebody and they feel like they have to save you, you're going to just do whatever you want to do. You don't have no boundaries. Like, you're literally just this victim in their eyes, and you can do whatever, and they're going to just feel like, oh, I got to save her from herself. He's a grown man. He needs to be saving himself. And to my knowledge, neither one of them have kids. They don't have kids together. So he literally is just needing to take care of himself. And that's probably why he probably has not grown up. Because I feel like people don't really grow up until they have children. It's like a different level of maturity that you have access to, that you obtain once you have human lives depending on you. I'm not saying it always happens. I'm not saying people do parenting correctly 100% of the time. But I'm saying the main way I see people grow up in America with this goofy ass culture that we have is when they have children.
Why are we doing these things? So then I noticed another app pops up. It was called Tango. It was doing the same shit. Chicks on there, basically stripping, getting naked, doing all types of shit, or they go live. I don't know what type of shit they do, but I have an imagination, and so do you. And again, I'm addressing him. He's deleting it. It's popping back on the phone. So one day, I happen to go in the messages, and I see that he's fighting with a dude over another bitch on the app. Like, apparently, I guess because they were going, like, lives with, like, multiple people, and they were, I don't know, but somehow they started fighting over the chick. No, like, that's your, you think that's your chick? Like, all this crazy shit. I was just like, is this fucking real life right now? Like, is this what we're doing? Is this what grown-ass men, damn near 40 years old, is this what they do? Like, what is this? So, at this point, I'm like, if you don't delete these apps, like, I'm done. Like, I swear to God, I can't take this shit anymore, because it was constant fights, because the shit would just be blatant in my face. He would also go on Instagram. All of a sudden, he liked Instagram, and we never, like, I had an Instagram, but we were never on it. Like,
this is so weird to me. You're in COVID. This is how you know people don't like being married. Because a lot of people, the divorce rates definitely went up during COVID, because people were having to be around each other more, and they were just like, I don't like my spouse. He is being stuck with his wife during COVID, and he is downloading every app under the sun. He has women on there. He's paying their money, their family money too, coming out of their household. It could be her money. It could be his. I mean, what are we doing? He's looking at women, other women sexually. So he's not attracted to his own wife, but he want to, be sexually attracted to these women. And now it's gotten so bad, you're fighting over women to another guy. After you keep downloading apps that your wife is telling you to take off your phone, the next day you got it back on there. Now you're fighting over women with other men. These are people, virtual people you never met in real life. And then you're just fighting over these females with these men in his wife's face. Like, this is insanity. And now she's talking about he now through Instagram. And look at Mr. Messy's face. When I tell you these people, we tired of this story. Like, girl, when does it end? I'm exhausted. I've been exhausted. But Lord, child.
Dad, we would just be on Facebook. I'm like, duh, so you can go to somebody's profile and see everybody they follow. Like, you follow nothing but OnlyFans. Well, he follows some athletes and rappers too. A lot of athletes and rappers. But you followed a lot of fucking OnlyFans bitches too. And then when you go on his Instagram, all they show, follow this suggest is fucking OnlyFans chicks. So I'm like, dude, you're so fucking thirsty. Because mind you, he had the porn addiction. And it's crazy because I came across the DL Whisperer. Shout out to him. And let me tell you, the shit that he talks about is real. He knows what the fuck he's saying. And it's crazy because I literally just came across his page on Facebook. And I'm like, damn, that's literally what I was just talking about. Like, in my fucking story. Like, because what? Like, yeah, when I say watching porn, it's not everybody watches porn. Cool. But it's all the time. When I say watching like a TV show, I mean watching like a TV show. And when you have a wife and you tell her...
And this is why I think most men are DL, because if they're not outright just gay and living a best gay bisexual life, like, they're DL, because men are, when they get addicted like that, if they can't just get access to women, which they're usually not going to have access to women like that, they're going to take what they can get. And we know sometimes it's even you're touching children, which is vile. Look at the Epstein files. So I definitely think it's way more men who are DL that women don't believe are DL. These are men who live perfectly straight lives. Nobody would ever guess they were DL. I mean, look at Tyler Perry with his drama going on and nobody's talking about it. You're DL, Tyler Perry. Like, come on. People know you've been bisexual since forever. If anything, honestly, I think he might be gay. I've never seen him with a woman, and I don't see him with... When I did see him with the woman that had his son, I never see him with women where I'm like, oh yeah, they're definitely in love and having this great sex life. Like, it's just not happening compared to the men who are, suing him. Those men look more like his type. They both look the same.
You make up a lie, you tell her to get bigger, you tell her you like bigger women, and then she puts on some weight, and then you say, oh, I'm not attracted to you because you put on weight, but yet you watch obese women getting some on the porn every single day. He ain't watching for them, he's watching for the men. That's the reason why.
All right, Messy family, that pretty much wraps up this story time for today.
But that's weird to me, because I'm like, I think she doesn't want to admit that they're probably not, he's not attracted, he just don't like her for whatever reason. Because to me, like, why not just watch man on man? You can even watch men by themselves. So I don't think he's watching it just to watch a man. I think he likes what he says he likes. He just don't like it on her.
See, this is probably a never-ending saga. She hasn't posted any updates so far, so at the end of the day, I believe that this is all she wanted to put out there. I guess the message for this story time is to be careful. Don't rush into these relationships so fast without doing your proper research. There's nothing wrong with, judging people in the beginning, especially if you feel like you're going to be with them forever. You want to know everything about them before you just uproot yourself into their life, because you end up in situations like this very often.
Also, take some time to heal. And then I think once you do that, you will know what you will put up with. Because if you don't know what you're worth, then you'll just put up with anything and take what's given to you. And she went through a lot of things that she shouldn't have went through. If she would have just saw the red flags in the beginning and just stood on business. People only do what you allow to them. She let a lot of things pass. So he just continued on disrespecting her and disregarding her feelings with everything he was doing. So,
but if you guys are interested in following this creator for more updates on the situation, I'm pretty sure she's got a lot to say, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna have a lot to say when she finally finalizes the divorce. We will leave her linked in the description box below so you guys can follow her directly.
So that was I'm gonna show you guys her information real quick. Curtis and Hanadi review a story that begins like a normal marriage. They're called Messy Fam is their TikTok. Credit TikTok was a major flex. I guess that's her name, the woman who was telling the story. That's her account. If y'all want to go check that out, or even if you want to watch the rest of this video is titled "Her Husband's Secrets." Went way deeper than she ever imagined. And yeah, and she did say that she is currently getting a divorce. So I think that's why she didn't give us any more updates on it, because it was like, that was like all she had to really tell, unless she's going to give us an update on like what her life's like after the divorce happens.